I think Bilbo has a real chance to be my deck for Eternal Weekend. I have a few more ideas on how to fine-tune and make the most powerful version. Okay, welcome back, Vintage Gamers, to the first ever Sunday afternoon Vintage Challenge. New time slot. Daybreak had me go out and poll the community on what dates and times worked best for them to fire Vintage Challenges with the new 44-player minimum. And one of the most overwhelming time slots that was named was the afternoon on Sundays. So this is a 4:30 p.m. Eastern Vintage Challenge that has 48 players for its very first challenge. So pretty exciting. And here we're going to try to go back to back with top 8s using different Bilbo decks. This is the most recent Bilbo creation that I put together on stream yesterday. Taking all of the lessons we've learned from Turbo Voltkey Bilbo and from Exile Bilbo and from Gifts Breach Bilbo. This is my newest creation, Blue-Black Voltkey Bilbo. What does this gain us and what does this lose us? So Blue-Black, we get a very, very wasteland resilient mana base with 3 basic islands currently. We get, obviously black, the big thing you want is DT, because DT is like by far the best Bilbo card, but also the Yogwill DT Gifts Ungiven stuff for deterministic Vault Key packages was very impressive. So we're playing that. And then we have to basically fix the shortcomings of playing blue-black. And the shortcomings of playing blue-black is you make yourself a little bit more weak to creatures and to null rods, because the white that you get in the Oswald list gives you Portable Hole, super clean answer to null rod. And then it also gives you swords as super clean answers to creatures. So main, I'm playing a bunch of Thought Seizes that have looked very impressive in testing because of being able to be flashback with Bilbo. I'm only playing 1 true removal spell in Fatal Push in the main because I do think that you need to respect Frog specifically. Our deck will be pretty weak to mono white in the main, but we have to fix that up in the board. I have moved the Chain into a Sync, which gives us an additional land, but also a catch-all bounce spell. And then we get to play that. We get to go back to playing the Needle and the Lantern in the main. Lantern, obviously, a great card with Bilbo and Lurrus to help you with your Dredge matchup. And Needle is actually less for Dredge and more for the One Ring and Raker Sensei Stop decks. So this gives you a really nice game plan against Dredge in the main, where you have a Needle, a Lantern, and a Time Vault Key. And then it also gives you some. I think this deck is actually quite reasonable against Jewel and Raker with its heavy counterspell, Thought Seize, Needle plan. So I've actually been thinking that this deck makes you a lot better against like a wide field and a little bit worse against Lurrus Frog decks is how I've felt so far. The rest is like very much utilizing the same shell we've been doing, the FLS Flow State Lorien Stock Up shell. Here I'm opting for 3 Flow States, 3 Loriens, and 4 Stock Ups. Stock Up is by far the best card, but Flow States and Loriens, you don't have to play the full 4. And then, especially don't need the 4th Lorien when we have so many lands and we have a couple additional sorceries. The gifts has still been great. I think the right number of gifts feels to me like 1 gifts, 1 scroll. Scroll letting you, double flashback scroll with Bilbo to have force. Or, of course, scrolling for an Ancestral so that your Bilbo can then have Ancestral is very important. And then if you're going to already play Scroll because it makes all of these other cards better, you want one other non-draw powerful spell, like a Dig Through Time. And Gifts has been pretty much deterministic from every spot I've cast it so far in every single version of Bilbo I have played. So, been very happy with this one, like, win the game spell that if it's ever too much mana, you just pitch it to force. So, no big deal there. That is our main. And then in the board, we have a very specific and tailored board to do certain things. I think our deck is pretty bad against Mono White Initiative. So, we have a series of removal spells, a second Fatal Push, a Dismember, a Long Goodbye, which one of the things I wanted to do with as many of my removal spells as possible is make them good against Frog. So I chose like not to play Snuff Out. So the only removal spell you can't bring in versus Frog is Virtue's Ruin. Destroy all white creatures, but I think the upside of a Virtue's Ruin in your like big mana deck is quite high. But I also have a Feed the Swarm in here to help us with Oath, because our deck doesn't really want to play Grafdigger's Cage. And then Nope, Vamp is not bad with Bilbo. I just think Vamp is a bad card. Vamp has some deterministic time walk, harmonic tutor lines with Vamp. I just don't really want to play Vamp in my deck. If you played Vamp in this deck instead of another card, I think it's totally reasonable. Yep. So I have an extra chain for bouncing, and then I'm playing one Consign, one Sabotage, one Annul. One of the upsides you get of playing one of each of these cards is you are able to make late game gifts piles against Sphere Shops or other decks like Raker that contain one of each of these cards. So you will always have a 1-mana counterspell versus an artifact afterwards. And then you get the side swipe of the Annul also helping us versus the Oath deck. So there's a lot of Oath deck running around. So one Flusterstorm to buff up our counter magic suite, Hurkyl's Recall, chain, and then for graveyard we have obviously the 2 main deck anti-graveyard cards in Lantern and Needle, but we also have 1 Crypt, 1 Jailer, and 1 Lantern. So a second Lantern. So the second Lantern can actually come in like mirror matches and places where you're not getting null rotted. Breach decks, I really like a second Lantern as well. So this build has a lot of thought put into it, so I'm pretty happy with where we've currently landed. So far, I have played 1 league with this deck where I went 4-1, only losing to Andy Montolio on Blue-Black Frog. We had some great matches against a variety of different decks, including Oath and Jewel and a PO deck. So I was pretty happy with what we saw so far in testing. Because people will ask, I did include 1 snow-covered basic island for the pile that you will absolutely never make. That includes 2 different kinds of islands on Gifts Ungiven. But I also think there's like actually something to be said about leading snow-covered island, because it does tell your opponent that you're on gifts. But what it also tells your opponent is like, oh, maybe they're on mana drains, because by far the most played snow-covered island deck is a gifts deck that has mana drains in it. And if your opponent, if you hold up blue and your opponent thinks you might have a mana drain, you can get a lot of value that way. So you don't have to play the snow-covered island. It could just be another basic island. It doesn't actually matter, because I don't think almost you will never ever make that gifts pile that has 2 different kinds of islands. Anything else stick out to anyone? I don't think so. This looks pretty good. Yeah, so we'll see if we can't get the 3rd back-to-back Vintage Challenge top 8 with our good Thief in the Night, Bilbo, and his trusty cat companion, Lurrus. See you in round 1. Did you know subscribing here on YouTube and following on Twitch are both free ways you can support my vintage content? All right, welcome back, Vintage Gamers, to the very first ever Sunday afternoon challenge, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. We have a whopping 48 players. Very good. Up against Eternal Weekend champion, runner-up, multiple-time champion. Yeah, HJ Kaiser. Powerful blue wizard. We'll see what we can do here. I think that the Lurrus matchup is not ideal for this deck. The Lurrus Frog matchup, I should say, more specifically. So we'll see what we can do. Don't want to see this or this in my opening hand, but also am probably not putting this kind of hand back. So looks like a keep to me. I guess for Twitch chat, we are playing a Vault Key Bilbo deck today with blue and black colors. I gotta do I still have to do my my intro. But we brewed it up yesterday during the challenge. All right. Oh, okay. So this is Lurrus Deathrite Shaman with a hedge maze. That'll be interesting. I haven't played any matches against Lurrus Deathrite Shaman yet. Not a super common deck. That's a good draw too. Can't play around Daze in any meaningful way. I guess I can if I play Petal first. I guess we'll play Petal first. I don't put it past HJ to have a Daze. And then I think here what I'll do, if I don't get mental missteps, never mind, was cycle and play Time Walk and then play Stock Up. Because now I'm pretty exposed to a Collector Roof, right? I will probably take Saga Gaming, though I will be sad. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't want to see Oof here. Wow, Bayou. Deathrite Shaman? Alright, that's not bad. So now I have the extremely powerful Time Walk into Saga Gaming. Maybe? Let's see. And I think I want to play around Spell Pierce, so I will play the Saga out, which does mean they know how valuable the Time Walk is. We'll see if they have a Force. But I think playing around Spell Pierce is worth it. Yeah, so now, oh, look at that. We dodged the Spell Pierce and got the Negation. Negation particularly good against us because we do want that Time Walk in our yard for Bilbo. But this puts my opponent on one card, and there's an active Saga. Currently no indication whether they have a Wasteland or not. They could have Wastelanded us last turn, but they were holding up Spell Pierce, so... If they do not have a Wasteland, Saga could definitely run away with this game. Looks like they're holding open... there's no land in the yard, so the Deathrite can't make mana. Okay. I will definitely go get a basic, or... Yeah, basic here, probably. And then... I guess this could have been an Underground Sea. And then we're just passing with all of our mana up, because casting a stock up would be bad. That is true. The Deathrite Shaman could eat the Time Walk. That is a very fair judgment. We are also still not putting a land in our opponent's yard for this Deathrite Shaman, which is quite good. Or in our yard so that the Deathrite Shaman could eat it, I should say. I am hoping to overpower, but Deathrite Shaman eating Bilbo cards is certainly something. Not a terrible idea, all things considered. It does seem like Bilbo is sneaking its way into basically all the Lurrus decks. It is kind of that kind of power level. There's the Wasteland. That's a good draw. Save them from and we'll also put a card in their yard. For the Deathrite Shaman. Big Wasteland rip off the top for HJ. Doesn't use the Deathrite, which does make the Yogg-Will worse. If I could play my Saga here, it'd be quite good. I think I like the idea of stocking up. Second negation on my stock up is pretty bad for me. I could buy Lurrus instead. This is the first time they've had 3 mana, and they did choose to leave everything up. Let's attack. I might buy Lurrus here instead of play stock up into open mana. But it's not like clear that they actually have a negation, really. But they could, for sure. They probably have 2 more negations in their deck. They could have a Bowmaster here. In that case, I would kill Bowmaster and Shaman. I guess I could kill the full Bowmaster. But I think that would be okay, too. I'm not sure that I would care too much if that happened. If they, like, play a push or something on this, then I'm probably stocking up. I'm definitely stocking up if they were to play, like, a push or something on this. Yeah, it's just a gifts pile thing. And then if my opponent thinks I'm on gifts drain off my island, that's probably a positive for me. They'll play around mana drain, maybe. Not a huge thing. You don't have to play a snow covered there. There's pros and cons. Signals we're playing gifts, but like I don't care if you know I'm playing my 1 gifts, right? I'm gonna buy Lurrus here. I assume they're just going to... They might drain, or they might just eat the Saga. We'll see. They're gonna drain. Okay. This is good, though, because if they need to use the Deathrite for mana on their turn, it might open up a Yogg-Will on our turn. Green, Deathrite. 2 cards in my opponent's hand. I mean, this seems like a fine spot. These Deathrites are a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world. Definitely would be annoying against Bilbo, though, so I kind of like the idea. Hmm. All right. 2 cards in my opponent's hand. Thoughtseize. Kind of like the idea of Thoughtseizing. The Thoughtseize has been really good in testing. See what this finds. There are definitely some downsides to this. We could have held this for maybe their Lurrus at some point, but this does at least remove like force from the equation. This also kind of forces the issue if they have like a Bowmaster and like a hanging force. If there's like no Spell Pierce, we can do things like fetch, play Lure. Oh, so there's Spell Pierce Days last 2 cards. I see. It's like, all right. This means I can't play my full, like if I take Spell Pierce and I do my full thing where I play my land, play my Lurrus, play my Soul Ring, I can't actually stock up this turn, which is annoying. But it's good to know they have last card Days. I guess my block here, their block here is pretty decent. Oh, no, it's not decent because I'm going to get my Soul Ring back. We are getting low on life. The Wasteland off the top to kill the Saga is definitely something. But they don't have a lot going on here. This is a very HJ Kaiser board, though. Just a pair of Deathrite Shamans in the Dream. I'm going to play this Soul Ring. If they want to daze it, I think that's fine. Okay. I will get in with my Construct. And they're going to eat my Thoughtseize. I'm at 11. They're at 11. We have a Lurrus on a 4/4. Seems like a decent spot to be. If I hadn't played my land already, I could Yogg-Will back my Saga here. I guess I can't because I would still get dazed. I don't know. Looks like a good spot. The fact that we didn't get ooped in this game was quite important. Okay. 11 to 11. A pretty big mana advantage. See what they draw. Eat my Tarn. Interesting. I think they're not thinking about Yogwill, which is a decent sign for us. Blue, green, black. Lurrus. They still have another death, right? Oh, Lotus. That's a good rip here. That's a very good rip here. That's certainly stabilizing. Stock up hopefully breaks open this game, though. Force, Misstep, Ruby, stock up, Tolarian. I just like stock up Tolarian. Do I need Tolarian? Can I afford to get something else? I like Tolarian. Bilbo, Flow State, Lorien revealed. Okay. I have 4 mana off Academy, so I could draw with Lorien revealed. I also still can replay using my pedal. It's probably just Lorien revealed and a Bilbo as a 2/2. I guess this runs me into Daze a little bit. Trying to cast Bilbo here. So I do think I'm probably... I guess I'm not attacking with my Lurrus. I kind of want to be attacking with my Lurrus. Wonder if I misplayed this then. Cluster, Lorien, Gifts, Bilbo. I don't know. Kind of non-trivial. I'm not getting drained here. I guess I probably am getting drained here. Down to 9. I was thinking maybe I just attack with Lurrus. I feel like that's how I die from here. I only have 1 key, but I do have a Yogwill and a Lurrus, and my opponent currently has no counter magic. So like this gift should be winning on the next turn unless my opponent draws good cards. I was thinking about like making my opponent daze, but I don't really think that's necessary. I think what I'm going to do is attack with Lurrus, and if they want to trade Lurruses, I think that's okay with me. I just want to make sure that I can't really lose. It's not like they have an attack back. All right. So my opponent is on daze and a bunch of mana, and I have a Gifts Ungiven Yogwill in my hand. As long as I get all artifacts and I have enough mana, then I can just win. They drew Deathrite. Okay. So we have this locked up here. So I play my Underground Sea. I tap these. I cast Gifts. My Gifts gets Time Vault, Manifold Key, Black Lotus, Sapphire. And then I have a Yogwill in my hand. They don't know about the Yogwill, but they'll probably assume I have a Yogwill based on the pile I made. So Sapphire, Lotus, Academy, Yogwill. All right. That's a really nice win. I like that a lot. This deck has been very impressive. I played it through a league today before the event. I went 4-1, only losing to Montolio on blue-black Frog. I'm going to bring in Dismember, Long Goodbye, Feed the Swarm, Fatal Push, Flusterstorm. And I'm going to take out Negation, Soul Guide Lantern, Needle. Think about Needle for a second. I usually like to take out Emerald against a deck that has this many Null Rod effects. We got second place. Lost the revenge match versus Mac in the finals. It was a good stream yesterday. Thoughtseize has been so good for me. Been very impressed. With this with removal, I feel like I shouldn't need Needle, so I have triple basics, so I think I'm gonna just do this. Maybe I take out Probe because I have Thoughtseize and you keep Needle. It's possible. Okay. It is worth noting I don't have a basic Swamp in our deck at the moment. I've been thinking about playing a basic Swamp, but it's tough to fit. The sideboard is a little cramped at the moment. Surveil land, turn 1 again. Okay. Top. Draw. Bilbo. We are aware of a Daze in the deck list. Am I willing to play around a Daze? It's a different story, isn't it? It's a hedge maze. I'm just going to play a basic island and play a Bilbo. Okay. Bilbo is in play. Maybe basic island is incorrect because I can't double fatal push. Could see that. Wasteland. Okay. Time Walk. I did not show a Bilbo in game 1, no. But it's kind of can be assumed, I think. I wonder if I'm allowed to force this. Probably not. It's not like I can play a spell with Bilbo, even if I stock up. So it's not like I'm gaining a huge advantage. It'd be really cool if I could. Play a Deathrite off this Shaman, off this Jet, it's pretty good. Play a Fatal Push off the Jet, it's pretty good. Oh, it's a really powerful turn. Jet, Walk, Creature, Wasteland. This whole Deathrite Shaman versus Bilbo action is pretty nice. Doesn't hit artifacts, obviously, but the spell I want to flash back is stock up, so. Eat my fetch land. Green, black. Oof. Ah, Assassin's Trophy. I think that's acceptable. I do have another basic. Oof. Yep. So scroll. I assume we're just supposed to fatal push this oof now. Does take them off black mana. Or does keep them off black mana. I kind of want to just scroll and cast Ancestral. Kind of feels bad not to have Flusterstorm up. I guess if my plan is scroll cast Ancestral, I'm better off just stocking up, right? Stock up's just better than Ancestral. Interesting. Mana Crypt Petal. Pearl Petal. Probably just Pearl Petal. I guess I could take Misty, so I have another black source after this. Misty Petal. Misty Petal's probably better. We definitely have an advantage at the moment. At some point, they do need to eat the Bilbo so that I don't get it back with Lurrus. Currently, no other... I guess this is a land that can be in the yard at any point. I've been so impressed with this deck, not me. I had a really great league today. Really nice one. All right, let's see. Wasteland came down. Spell Bomb. That is also freed up by me killing this oof. I wonder if me killing this oof was even correct. Spell Bomb in your oof deck is so odd. They have a lot of ways to stop Bilbo and Lurrus. Looks like they're going to just crack it, maybe? Or do they have another 2-drop? Frog. I like countering this frog. I'm just going to force this frog pitching Flusterstorm. They only have one card left. Flow state. That's quite interesting. Because that might make them crack the spell bomb for no value. Is that worth doing? I feel like that's pretty good for me, right? If they do that. I do have just Merchant Ancestral with no other side. I think this flow state is like pretty good here. It like very incentivizes a Nihil Spellbomb activation, and I think I'd be pretty happy if they did. No, they let it go. So now I get Bilbo stock up or Lorien stock up. Unfortunately, this Bilbo like into this Spellbomb is not very good. But I still have an Ancestral coming, so it's probably fine. I have a lot of gas if I can just get to the point where I'm playing it. I think here I'm supposed to just fetch another Underground Sea. And then make them Spellbomb. I can scroll first, make them Spellbomb, and then I could double Ancestral. Though I guess I can't do that if they have a Deathrite and a Jet up. This Deathrite makes everything a little bit tricky, huh? This is a Dismember? Okay. Are they going to activate Spellbomb just to get a card, though? They have another 2-drop. Another Frog. Wow. It's a good series of draws. I have a lot of answers, though. Wow, Lotus too. So many cards here. I feel like we just stock up looking for removal spells. But I can do a lot of different things. I feel like stocking up is just like my best play though. Like it just gives me the most options. There's a Fatal Push and a Force. And a Bilbo. Wow, this deck is really hard to play. It's definitely Fatal Push on Frog. I don't really want to expose my other cards, though. I could just lose my Lotus. If I were to go Fatal Push Bilbo, Fatal Push the Frog, play the Bilbo, I lose my whole graveyard, except I can scroll before my Bilbo, and then I can get an Ancestral so that I will always get something. But I do lose out on Lotus, is the issue. If I want to do that. I don't have to do that. I could play Fatal Push, hold Bilbo, hold Scroll, but then I'm like not progressing, right? I'm kind of worried about not progressing. But I feel like with Scroll, I should be fine, right? I'm not actually sure. I guess the Ancestral doesn't really work if they hold up 2 activations. I just don't know if this is correct, man. Losing all of this just to play a Bilbo now. I want to get this Spellbomb off the board so I have freer reign. I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess I could cast the Merchant Scroll now. Then I lose the Petal too. Kind of hate that. Let's just play the Bilbo now. I don't know. I actually just don't know. There are just too many options on that turn. So my opponent is drawing for turn, random card. So I guess the Ancestral, like I said, if they lose this and then they get another fetch land and then they hold up Deathrite, I don't actually have like Merchant Scroll, second Ancestral. I guess I do because I would have Merchant Scroll at that point. They draw another Frog? Or they draw an Oof. Or they draw a Treasure Cruise for turn? Yeah, HJ's too good, man. Holy shit. That's so crazy. HJ will never draw a land when he doesn't need a land. Felt like I was in such a good spot. That's their 4th Frog? 3rd Frog. All right, so... Draw a removal spell. Fuck. So I can attack. I could Merchant Scroll for an Ancestral. Make the attack. They are forced to use Spell Bomb on my yard on Fatal, but then I can lose this to this freaking Frog. Wow, this has just been really bad for me. Every single choice I've made has been completely punished by the top of my opponent's deck. Just like no cards into the best cards each time. I don't have a bounce spell, right? I didn't. Oh, I should have brought in that Chain of Vapor. Yeah, well, I can also do like Merchant Scroll, right? Like I can Merchant Scroll ahead of time and then I can cast double Ancestral. I could Merchant Scroll, sink the Frog. That's true. And then I am still getting back a Lotus if they don't activate. I feel like then I am kind of low on cards. I just like don't know if that's actually like, the right play. I need to make choices though. I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna Merchant Scroll for Ancestral. And then I'm gonna go to attacks and make them crack. Because I have a Fatal Push for Frog, so they have to crack. Man, this is really annoying. I wish I hadn't killed, like, the freaking Collector Oof. That was this game, right? I feel like killing the Collector Oof was so bad for me. All right, so my yard gets exiled. I cast Ancestral targeting me. I didn't draw anything good. So I cast Ancestral targeting me. Fatal Push would be sick. I think it's only Fatal Push. Oh, do I? Oh, I've already used all my Fatal Pushes. I have a Dismember. I have a Dismember. No, I missed. Okay, so we're back kind of at square zero here. I think it's just Mox, Lorien, the new Bilbo. All right, let's see if this is good enough. They have a Frog, a Deathrite, 2 cards in hand. Lurrus is still available. But we have stock up Lorien, gifts. We have a gifts, time walks, piles as options, but the death rate stops like time walk, gifts stuff pretty well. Maybe I should have boarded gifts out. Wasteland. They still can have oofs as well, which are really annoying. Holding everything up. Okay. Flow state. Oh man, I need to win this game or I'm gonna lose probably. I think I'm just gonna stock up though. I guess if this gets hardcast negated, then I just recast. I guess I just recast. There's like actually nothing I can recast. There's a Feed the Swarm and a Gataxian Probe and a Thoughtseize. I'm gonna go Thoughtseize, Feed the Swarm, and then Flashback Pedal. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Spell Pierce. Okay, I attack. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to play a game 3, so I do need to win this game. I have not made quick enough decisions. They can't eat my petals, so and then I think I will cycle this for my other basic. And feed the frog to the swarm. Okay, I go to 11. I gotta play faster, man. I have no instance in my yard at the moment. They have a fetch land by Lurrus, hold up Deathrite. I have stock ups and Lorians to cast. I need to start planning all my turns in advance here because I just don't have the time. I don't feel like I played like incredibly slow, but I definitely didn't play fast enough. I have some removal spells still left for Deathrite as well. I have a gifts. I'm just like super worried about trying to resolve a gifts from this spot into a thing that like into a spot that helps. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with that. This will be Bayou and then play by Lurrus. I do want to be able to force Lurrus as well. I have stock ups and Lorians in the yard. I'm just gonna go to combat and see what gets eaten. I don't know like what my gifts pile from this spot is supposed to be, so I'm just not going to worry about that. Oh, okay. I'm just going to cast a stock up. I look to see a force of will here, or long goodbye is reasonable. I'm bolt long goodbye. Still want to see a force. There's a force. In that case, do I just long goodbye this Deathrite Shaman? I can always flash it back with Bilbo, so yeah, I think so. So they have Lurrus and 2 unknowns in their hand. I have Force Misstep and a million cards on my Bilbo. That should just be fine, right? Even if they have Force back up here, they buy back a thing. I kill it. It's fine. Okay. Untap. Attack with Bilbo. Cast Lorien. DT. Just do that next turn when I have more information. Yeah, there were definitely things I could have gifts for. I just decided that this was a better way forward. I could have maybe have DT Time Walk there as well. All right, got there. This deck is sweet. All right, here we go. Round 2. Let's see if we can play a little bit faster this round. We had to make some hard choices, so it was tough. This might be my first matchup for Shops as well, which would be pretty cool. Yogg-Will not what we want to see in our opening hand, but turn 1 Bilbo Force certainly is. This is yeah, can we do 3 Bilbo top 8s in a row? That'd be sweet. We'll see. Technically with 3 different decks as well. Though they all have a pretty similar shell with the stock up Lorians. I guess the Oswald deck doesn't have the flow states, but FLS shell is quite strong. We do need to find action spells in this hand, but I mean, I'm not passing up turn 1 Bilbo with force backup. We do have undersea sewers that can help us find action for Bilbo as well. Like we could go fetch sewers, mill over, stock up, cast stock up in the same turn. All right, Mox. Mox. Mox, 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 Mox. Workshop. And Scrawly Crawly. I'm letting Scrawly Crawly go here. I need cards, so I'm pretty happy if my opponent's going to let me have cards. Did not hit there. Let's see if we can find that sewers. Imagine if we mill over. I guess Fatal Push wouldn't work here. Flow State. That works. Okay. Attack with my Bilbo. Cast Flow State. New Bilbo or another land. I don't think they're going to block with this crawler, but they might block with the crawler. I feel like I'd rather have a land. See if they block with this crawler. It's pretty profitable, right? Okay. I can still get the Bilbo back with Lurrus, so it's not like I'm getting rid of the Bilbo forever. I still want to be able to play through Wasteland. Uh-oh. It's a Golos. Ah, Null Rod. Okay. And a Crucible. Okay. You have a Wasteland as well? No. All right. Well, we dodged a Wasteland there, which would have been catastrophic. There was my Scrawly Crawler answer. All right, I will buy Lurrus. Hopefully they're just out of gas and we can reassemble the team. Nope, they ripped a Wasteland off the top. That's not good. Well, that's bad. All right. Well, the good news is I can still play my Lurrus, so the bad news is black mana is on a is on a clock. They drew a spell? They drew a Golos? They can get a strip mine now. Oh, I can't even kill a Golos. I think we're just dead here. This does seem like one of the more challenging matchups. What a crazy draw from them. Damn. Yeah, I think we're just dead here. Oh, okay. I don't think I can kill this card, so I would need to Vault Key win, and I can't do that through a Null Rod. So I would need to have Sink into Stupor plus Vault Key from this spot, and I just can't do anything. Yeah, Krakus is also killing me here. I think we're just dead. We can't ever see Yawgmoth to play a land because we'll never have enough lands to play Yawgmoth and still have a land drop. So I think we're actually just locked out of the game from this spot. I mean, we got kind of very unlucky here. My opponent ripped a Wasteland off the top into the Golos off the top, but that's magic. I think we were in a pretty commanding spot. Like the series of cards that I would need to draw in a row are probably impossible. Yeah, I just don't even know what it would be. Ancestral Time Walk. Vault Key, Sink. We just can't. We just can't. Like, we just get Wastelanded every turn of the game. The stupid Fatal Push doesn't kill Golos. There's just nothing, right? This matchup does seem, yeah, I mean, this matchup doesn't seem good. We got some cards post board to make it better, though. Bounce Lurrus. Yeah, I mean, I can't replay Lurrus ever, so. The fact that they ripped the Wasteland is just like the most killer thing of all time, because I feel like we were actually okay. Though we would have still had a pretty hard time beating like a Resolve Golos as well, so. No, not exactly happy about this, but. It kind of has to be. All right, I'm just done playing this out. I don't feel like wasting my time here. All right. So thought we had a pretty good hand against Shops, but it didn't really work out. We do have Sabotage, Hercules, Chain, Annul, Consign. We do have Feed the Swarm kills any creature. Dismember kills any creature. And then Flusterstorm is bad. Lantern is bad. Maybe I'll keep in Needle, even though I don't really think our deck is like bad against Wasteland. I don't really care about a Patchwork Automaton. I don't think I care about that card. Maybe I do. I don't know. I feel like it's too narrow. I'd rather just have removal spells that hit everything. I think I might take out the Gifts and the Yogg Will, which does remove a lot of my power and redundancy, but I think I'm supposed to like get a little leaner here. We'll see. One thing I don't have is a basic swamp, which is something I considered but chose not to play. You don't like Scroll against Spheres. You don't like the card that finds Hercule's Recall against Sphere Shops. Interesting. Don't know why that would be. Merchant Scroll finds not only Ancestral Recall, not only Force of Will, but Hercule's Annul, Chain, Consign, steals out every single card I brought in for the matchup. It doubles the number of, adds an, actually it doesn't double, it just adds an additional copy of every single sideboard card I brought in, basically. Like, yeah, casting a scroll can be challenging for sure, but. But yeah, I don't think the Sphere Shops matchup is one I'm particularly happy to see. So we'll see what happens. Have a cat. I snap this one off. I do have to throw Bilbo into Mindbreak trappable areas here, because I do want to have Steel Sabotage up. But I don't really know that I'm allowed to play around that. I don't really think I am allowed to play around that. I think I need to make a play on my turn one. Well, you are, for the most part, supposed to win the game after you cast the Hercule's Recall, so. Our deck, to be fair, is a lot worse than doing that than, like, say, Tinker or PO, but. But we also don't have 4 Hercules in our deck either, so. We got pretty bullied in that game. But I mean, it was top deck Wasteland, so. So we have some cool things that can happen here. If my opponent only has one spell they can play on turn 1, we counter it, untap, stock up for a mana source and a card, and then cast another stock up with our Bilbo, which is just about one of the strongest things I've ever heard of. But we'll see. They can have double spell here and then lock us down in some meaningful way. Lotus Workshop, Sphere, Null Rod kind of things. I guess we could theoretically let that... Oh, we're just getting wastelanded? We're getting dismembered. I see. Yeah, I mean... Okay. That's why I tapped my Underground Sea to play Bilbo, so that I didn't get randomly wastelanded off of my Sabotage. I don't think I mentioned that when I did it, but that's the reason. This mana is a little bit safer. Not a lot safer, because it can still get null rotted, but a little bit safer. Yep, Steel Sabotage has bounce null rod, bounce sphere, bounce creature from the yard with Bilbo. True. Very true. We will have to make a choice on whether to tap this Underground Sea to cast our stock up. Because we might want to have the ability to play a black spell. Time Walk. Damn, we would have just straight up won the game if my opponent didn't kill the Bilbo with this member, huh? I mean, they're also playing 2 matches of Magic at the same time. We would have just gone Time Walk, flashback, Time Walk, stock up, flashback, stock up. We would have won the game, actually. I actually think, legitimately, if this member didn't happen, we would have just straight up won the game. That's crazy. Fetch, Lotus, Time Walk, Lurrus, Lotus. Yeah, okay, that seems fine. Oh, shit. Forgot about that. My bad. That was a mistake. I mean, I have a Steel Sabotage. I can bounce it if I want to, but I should have countered it. So what was my other card? I get like a Lorien revealed. Okay, it's a pretty big mistake. I think I want my extra black sources here. Yeah, it would have been Lorien revealed, which I would have cast here. So pretty big mistake. Yeah, I mean, I think what I'm supposed to do is buy Lurrus and hold up these spells. I made a huge mistake on that turn. That was pretty bad. Or maybe my mistake was I should have just countered this Chalice. It just didn't seem like Chalice mattered until I found a Lotus. But I played that too fast and just made the wrong choice. I think we're still fine, obviously. They're not wasting us off Lurrus mana, man. We have a Pearl. Like, come on. I want more from Twitch chat Arkin. I trust you, man. I trust you to be a little bit better. I mean, if they have double waste, then you're right. And then maybe I look like an idiot. Okay, they have double waste, sure. All right, so I think from here, we don't even Steel Sabotage, right? We just go Hurkyl's Recall on our turn and then Lotus. What do we gain if we Steel Sabotage instead? We gain the ability to play a Bilbo. It's pretty good. But then we'd lose the ability to be able to Steel Sabotage a spell that matters. I think I'm going to Hurkyl's the Chalice. So I guess I should have just countered the Chalice is what we've learned from this scenario here. I don't think I was supposed to counter the Chalice. I think it's really unfortunate, but oh, that actually kind of sucks, right? Because now I have to use this Lotus to sabotage. Maybe it's fine. My mana situation is not ideal here, right? I really want to be able to sabotage like a null rod, you know? I guess I can just play Bilbo next turn and not Lotus, so. Yeah, I mean, I really wish I had like taken the Lorien revealed and just cast the Lorien revealed, right? It's fine. We gotta move on. Gotta keep playing. You're gonna make mistakes in your Magic the Gathering tournament. It does, in fact, happen. There's a workshop. Is it a null run? Crucible. I don't think I'm supposed to counter this Crucible. I don't have any lands. That's actually a basic land, which is kind of nice. Play a Bilbo, cycle Lorien for a basic island, and hold open sabotage. I need to be able to sabotage a null rod is basically the thing I lose to from this spot. And that might not even lose, to be fair. I do have 5 power in play, and my my Bilbo does have stock up Time Walk Hurkyl's yard in the yard, so. This is kind of how I envisioned the first game going, but weird game. I think my deck can beat Sphere Shops, but it definitely doesn't want to see Sphere Shops, and doesn't want to be on the draw against Sphere Shops. Sure. This Bilbo card has been unbelievable. Just super strong. And Lurrus plays, I mean, these cards want the same things. So every single Bilbo deck I've built has been incredible. I mean, 2 back-to-back top 8s with different decks is probably a sign. But I think this one is even better. I'm going to let the Sphere resolve. Because again, I think Null Rod is the card that matters here. Yeah, I haven't bought my Bilbos yet, but I probably should. Yeah, I'm not as convinced by Bilbo and Tinker strategies, but I don't know because I haven't tried. It's really hard to justify playing a Tinker strategy unless you have like a really specific idea in mind, like the Hexing Squelcher Tinker deck. I mean, I think in general, Lurrus is better than Tinker, but I think there are definitely metagames where it makes sense to be the Tinker deck. Like, I thought that the NYC Grixis Tinker deck that we made was pretty enlightened. I was quite happy with that choice. We do have a Feed the Swarm that can kill a Golos that blocks here, which is pretty nice. Oh, wow, that's scary. That doesn't matter. You need to play something that beats the board. So, I mean, we start with Time Walk. Does it make sense to Hurkyl's my opponent? It probably does, right? I guess I could probably get a stock up through... Oh, I have a Force. So I just want another... So if I stock up, it costs me 3 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana, 4 mana. I can't really... Unless my stock up hits unwastable land plus blue card... Unwastable land plus blue card. Hurkyl's costs 2 mana, 1 mana, 2 mana, 3 mana. It makes them have less mana off of Academy. I'm just thinking, like, if I play stock up here and it hits fetch land blue card, then I have the ability to play force through 2 spheres and the ability to play steel sabotage through 2 spheres. Which seems insane. But I would have to hit exactly fetch land. Oh, yeah, it would have to be exactly fetch land. I mean, I guess I don't really know how they win if we have a Bilbo in play anyways, right? Maybe I'm just like overthinking this and nothing matters at all. If we have a Bilbo with a Hercules recall in the yard, how do we ever lose anyways? Fetch land blue card. So now I have force and sabotage up and Bilbo. I don't know. I mean, this just loses to the Hercules in my yard, but I just want to also force them for fun. So I'm not going to show them my third land, actually. My third island. I want them to think I have 2 islands. I don't know. I was probably overthinking a completely one spot where all plays win, to be fair. Oh, all right. We have to win a game on the draw here against Sphere Shops, though. That will be more of a problem. Do I want to play more removal spells? We didn't see a patchwork that time, but we could play Long Goodbye or Fatal Push if we want. They might be better than like Thoughtseizing on the draw. I'm not sure that's actually true, but I'm going to try it. Cat. God, this hand sucks. Oh, they kept 7 too. Super unfortunate. This hand's just not playable. Yep, that's where we're at. We are in trouble, I think. Oh, that's not good, man. That's not good at all. Ah, that's not good either. Ah, the classic workshop deck playing turn 1 Karn. I think we're pretty much just lost from the spot, so we'll see. Yeah, I mean, like I mulliganed my bad hand. I tried to get a better one, but I didn't find a better one, so I can't do too much. Like I'm not gonna mulligan this hand and go lower. Like it just doesn't make sense. Nettle Cyst out of the Karn board. Lovely. 6 forces. Yeah, I mean, Mana Crypt is unbelievable for sure. I mean, the problem is more that we lost the first game of the series. The first game of the series felt like a very winnable game that we didn't get there. And that was actually more, I think that's actually more important than like the 7-card opponent keep with Caracas. You know, like this, like this is just going to happen to some, you know, some degree. So you're just going to lose games like this. Strip mine. Yeah. I do want that. I think I actually have to feed the swarm this turn, though. before they can Caracas it back. I feel like the number of times Mana Crypt actually kills you is pretty low. All right, we can fetch basics now as long as they don't play a Crucible after this. That's not good. That's a pretty sick draw, huh? They are at least using their Ancient Tomb, so... I think I'm going to fetch a basic and Merchant Scroll for an Ancestral, because I don't really have Force, because I want to get a basic off this. So maybe my answer here is hold open, fetch, cycle, and sabotage. I do have to kind of counter the Nettlecyst as well. But I can't really get to scroll if I don't do it now, because I'm going to keep losing 1 mana every turn. I'm currently getting raced because they haven't lost enough Mana Crypt flips. Stuff. We've drawn pretty well, though, I will say. Like, we've kind of drawn the cards that matter. Can't really allow any creatures to hit the battlefield. We need all the life we can get here. Three attacks if I use Force versus 3 flips. It's pretty bad for me. Oh, okay. I guess I will not be using Force. Never mind. Yeah, they can Karn their Crypt at any point. It's very true. You got a Stone Coil Serpent? Sure. I just think I have no options here, sadly. I guess this needs to probably get Hurkyl's Recall. But that doesn't really win me the game, does it? Chain doesn't really help me. None of these things actually do anything. We're just like way too far behind after getting strip mined a million times. Not a million times, but enough times. They can actually go place Nettlecyst and equip Nettlecyst now. Yeah, okay. We're just actually dead from here. Okay. I don't know. This is like a great draw from them. And you just have to accept that sometimes on the draw you're not going to have... I mean, if I had a Force of Will, I might be okay, right? If I have a Force of Will for Karn, we actually have a pretty fine chance if we have a Force of Will for Karn, but... we did not open the cards we needed to beat this hand. Just goes back to that first game. I think that's the much more interesting one. Rough. All right, on to round 3. I have a cat. I have no idea what this player plays, but I will take my Bilbo with Time Walk and hope I don't die on turn 1. I could Time Walk first to build out my mana and give me an extra draw towards a Force. But I would rather Time Walk when I have a Bilbo in play. I mean, you like Flames are not free. Like I agree, I want to play Flames, but like Flames are not an easy card to add into your deck. This is really an interesting spot because I have 3 options technically. I have Time Walk, Merchant Scroll, and Bilbo. All are castable. I don't know what my opponent's playing, which makes Force of Will more valuable, unless my opponent is on Dredge, which makes Force of Will less valuable. Time Walk becomes more valuable if I have Bilbo in play already, as does Merchant Scroll for Ancestral. But if I wait too long, I might have it might be a problem. If I lead on Time Walk, I have options to draw additional mana. I could maybe cast Merchant Scroll and and Bilbo on the same turn. There's a lot to think about on this just opening hand, and I have no idea what the answer is. So I just thought I would vocalize that all for you. I feel like the highest possible value play is to play Bilbo and pass. That opens me up to anything possibly happening from my opponent, and it's fairly scary. But I'm going to try making that play, so. It does seem like they're F6'd. The problem with Time Walking first is like Time Walking with a Bilbo in play is so much more powerful. You know? They are not F6'd. If we have a Bilbo in play when we Time Walk, we immediately Time Walk twice, and then we go Merchant Scroll Ancestral twice, and then we Merchant Scroll a second time. Like, it's insane. Is this Eldrazi, or is this Jewel, or is this Raker? So like, this is the problem. Like, we can just die on this turn. Our opponent can just kill us. It looks like they might ring us, which is not the end of the world because we can Time Walk and draw a million cards. I do like how this deck plays through. Uh-oh, that's not good. Please don't kill us on turn 1. 7 card kill hand. They still have 3 mana left. They have 1 more card. If it's a top and they spin into another top, or a Tezzeret, maybe not Tezzeret. Do they have a ring? Do they have a? They have a Karn. Yeah, well, that's the problem with our line for sure. 8 cards play every single card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess they must have mulliganed once. They mulliganed once, yeah. This is gonna be a hard one. This is going to be a hard one. The good news is that they trade with our Bilbo. It's not the end of the world. They don't have a whole lot going on. They do still have like infinite mana though. These are the key. So if we had Time Walked first, like if our top card was like a force, then we were in a better spot, right? If we had Time Walked first. Grafdigger's Cage. Okay, now they don't need to kill the Bilbo at all. Okay, I mean, yeah. This game is not over, but we are in a really bad spot. I drew the force. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to attack with Bilbo at Karn. I assume they're just going to chump block. We did shuffle, obviously, so. The problem is Karn lets them play 2 spells in a turn here. This is also the spot where I'm like, I really wish we had Chain instead of Sink into Super. All right, I will attack Karn again. So we have another problem here where my Lorien Revealed wants to be a blue card to pitch to force. But I want to... Yeah, I think I just missed my land drop and I just Merchant Scroll for Ancestral, right? feel like I just need cards. I mean, I could get sync, right? I could go like Lorien sync, and then I can sync, but I can't like, I need to be able to sync the Karn and win, not just like sync the Karn. I also probably need to be able to play around my opponent having a lattice here. Unfortunately, as long as they play a spell every single turn, that means they have a blocker every single turn. Defense grid. I see. All right, I'm just gonna let this resolve. I feel like forcing this isn't helping me very much. Ooh, now if I draw a Fatal Push, I can actually kill the Karn. That's a sick one, actually, for me. Yogwell, Grafdigger's Cage. We've had a lot of Grafdigger's Cages recently here. It's been pretty brutal. Well, I don't have a chain in my deck at all. So. Or I guess I have one in my sideboard. Would a yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, I think Echoing Truth is not better, but. Yeah. I think I'm going to pay. Can't seem to hit anything that does anything. Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe the chain in my sideboard, it can be. Oh, what the fuck is this? It's just untapping the monolith. Okay. Well, I just like don't think Cage is good against Breach. Jeez. Okay, sure. I don't like Cage against Breach. Sure. Defense grid in the board. This defense grid really screwed us because I was able to like force their next powerful play. But now we're just super dead. We need to be able to bounce their Karn and Volt Key, basically. We actually don't have enough life yet. This was pretty brutal. Again, like it could be attributed to me on my first turn of this game, right? Like if I had time walked and hit the force, then maybe I would have been okay. But yeah, I mean it was a powerful 6-card hand. They played the whole hand out. It's really tough if you just like don't know what your opponent's gonna play. Like if I like make that time walk play, I get a force and my opponent goes bizarre, then you just lose the game. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I always tell people that Vintage really doesn't want open deck lists, because you basically can't play these kind of decks if you can't play non-blue decks if Vintage had open deck lists. You just lose your entire advantage. Well, we only look at 4 cards if we go Merchant Scroll Ancestral, which you still don't want to do because you want to get the Bilbo in play to run away with the game, right? Like, now, would I have made my play if I knew 100% my opponent was on Raker Shops? No. But that's kind of like that's the downside of not knowing what your opponent's on, right? Okay. Anyways. Steel Sabotage, Consign to Memory, Annul, Hercule's Recall, Chain of Vapor. Where did that card? Hercule's Recall, Chain of Vapor, Dismember, Long Goodbye, Fatal Push, Feed the Swarm are all possible cards. We have 2 islands we don't need. Lantern we don't need. Fluster we don't need. Probe we don't need. I think like some of this top end maybe can go. Maybe we don't need this much removal spells. Probably shouldn't play this much removal spells. How many is that? 3 removal spells? Yeah, I think Thoughtseize is good on the play. I think Thoughtseize is insane. That's why I have it in my deck. If I don't have Thoughtseize on the play, like when am I ever playing Thoughtseize? What? I don't understand. That's the time that Thoughtseize is the best. I think that Raker can fall apart with one Thoughtseize extremely easily. What are we talking about? I'm so confused. Like, I would kill to have a Thoughtseize. All right, this time I actually do have a force, so it makes it pretty easy to play my Bilbo on turn 1 here. Well, I just like don't understand how you can come to that conclusion. Like, what logic gets you to that conclusion? Like, the only logic that gets you to that conclusion is if you think Thoughtseize is unplayable, right? I just don't know how you got there. Pitching a card here might be challenging. I really wish I could counter this Manifold Key, but it's probably not allowed. It's probably not allowed. Well, I mean, Ring's a better target, but if they don't have the mana to ever cast Ring, right? They can also have, like, Vexing Bauble. Oh, they have Dismember? God, this has happened so much in the last 2 days, where my shop's opponents have just been dismembering my turn 1 Bilbos. Yeah, I mean, you got it. Dismember on my Bilbo. How do I even pitch here? How do I even pitch here? I feel like I just have to hope I get more mana. Yeah, I mean, that's a strong turn 1. Jesus. My opponent has had some serious power hands. It's a good draw. It's a really good draw. I have a lot of good draws now. That seriously fixes my mana issues. Interesting. Steel Sabotage is just strictly better than a null. So I like just Misty Sabotage. We do need to find another draw spell, but don't want to see another Raker. That's the downside of Sabotage in comparison to Consign. Inventor's Fair. So they're going to activate Inventor's Fair for Time Vaults. Okay. Sewers. Looking for draw spells. That's a draw spell. It's online, so that'll probably make them use their lantern as well. Definitely keeping that. Probably gonna get a lantern crack off of it. No? That's so surprising. Okay. I'll take Force Lorien. And then I'll sabotage so I can get this Lorien mana. Or sorry, I'll time walk to get the Lorien mana. Alright, so we have to play this game like we don't have a time walk because they have a lantern. It's just fine draw. Okay. So this time I can't flow state because I want to be able to sabotage whatever they search for. I don't know, we're pulling away here, so I assume this is an Inventor's Fair for a time vault, right? This is the kind of spot I want to be in. Where I'm just like sitting here casting draw threes every turn. Vexing Bauble was the card they got. So that means they already have a payoff in their hand. Which is fine because we have a sabotage. So I'm not actually worried about a Vexing Bauble. I'm gonna let that go. So they have like Vexing Bauble One Ring, maybe. I would rather have this flow state and hardcast force later, so. Yeah, all right, that makes a lot of sense. This is the power of those 1-mana counter spells, not actually getting hit by Vexing Bauble. Opponent is at 10. Stock up. Wow. Oh, all these cards are super good. Let's stock up. Demonic Chain. Push goodbye pedal. I'm gonna take Demonic goodbye. Pass with hardcast force. Yep. Yeah, I mean, countering this key would have been pretty good in this game, but it's not every time that this kind of thing happens. Hmm. I have no way of dying this turn if I counter this, but they could also have secondary ring. I could DT for needle. I think I'm just gonna use my force on this. Seems like a decent thing to stop based on the current state of the game. Okay, fine, my bad. Sure, sure. Oh, they're going for something. Found a card. Another key. It's pretty good. Yeah. Stock up. Any Volt Key piece is winning from here. Nothing. What do we want to do then? Just take a force and force that top off the top again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total mana. So I can't play another spell this turn. It's quite frustrating. Just take force stock up. I think we're just supposed to be... I think we're just supposed to play this safe. They can blind draw with two things here if they want to try to just hit a time vault and win. It's risky, but they could do it. I think they do know the card underneath from a previous spin, right? They use the bauble as the blind draw? Wow, that's really crazy, actually. They have a couple really strong ones here, so see what happens. I was thinking about DTing for a needle in that spot. Six mana? Chalice on 3. Okay. Well, I have 2 negations in my deck as well. Blow state. Hercules Bilbo. Yeah, I think they should have definitely have Chalice on 2. Don't tell them. I don't really want to cast Hercules. I think Chalice on 3 is a good place for me. Let's get a Bilbo in play. I wonder if I should DT for a force, though. I guess I want to have this DT for after they clear my yard. What can I lose to here? A ring? But I can only get... Yeah, I mean, a ring is pretty bad. I mean, I could DT for a needle and needle manifold key. And that cuts them down to 3 mana. It just means that I don't have anything to use on my Bilbo because they'll be able to wipe my Lantern Yard. I'm not actually sure. I don't really hate the idea of like naming Manifold Key. They just like can't do very much if I name Manifold Key, but then I guess I can lose to like a top decked. I mean, they can't play a thing, so that's true. I don't remember if they know the card. I really want to not play the DT so that I can like save the DT for post Soul Guide activation. All right, I'm gonna just play this Bilbo, and I am gonna DT, and I'm gonna name Manifold Key. Oh, I just got a Manifold Key. Okay, well, that's the price you pay on okay, that's the price you pay on talking and playing. Yep. It's a classic. Okay. That is like the worst possible combination of spells I could have chosen. I mean, at any point I can Hercules recall my opponent and then stock up, so it's not the worst. They're just gonna crack the card for a... They're not gonna crack this for a card. There's no way, man. I have a Bilbo and a DT. I was about to say, like, you can't make that. You can't do that. I guess end of turn I can Hercules here, right? If I want to. Okay. Okay. All right. I think I just end of turn I Hercules. And just try to use stock ups, right? Like, this has got to be fine. I can't believe my opponent didn't chalice on 2 in this game. All right, I get 2 stock ups here. There's like no way it's bad. Just gonna draw a million cards. I was supposed to cast Flow State before flashing back stock up. Whatever, man. God damn it. Sure. Yeah, I was not supposed to play it in this order. It's fine. Bro! Okay. It's fine. No problem. Thoughtseize your hand. Take your chalice. It's fine. I have 2 counter spells. I can't lose. I can just attack for 2 every turn. I don't need to time vault, man. I don't need to do anything. What if I just like, I don't know, negate this? Okay. I'm just like making random choices. Nothing matters. Okay. All right. What do we want? Game 3 here against our Raker Shops opponent. Just run it back. Deck's perfect. Well, I mean, it wasn't like a misplay. It's not like it was a misplay. It was a misclick. It was a talking on stream. It's not a misplay. That's a different thing. That's like, you don't call a mouse slip a misplay in chess. Anyways. Is this, oh, they misplayed. Well, I mean, that's up to interpretation. My opponent kept 7 cards. My hand is so medium, man. But you can't like mulligan a force hand against Raker, right? Oh boy. I'm pretty worried about this game. I feel like this hand is just super low power. That's fine. Sure. You got it. No shot. I guess I'll just get rid of Bilbo. Mox. Force. Scroll. I mean, if they have another one, they have another one. Inventor's Fair. You should have another one. Game. Bro, I hate this card so much. We only have one needle. Probably supposed to keep that one. And then I can scroll for an ancestral. Man, this game sucks. I'm just going to get bullied by second ring. Turn 1, 4 mana. Turn 2, 4 mana. Ah. And this is why you need to play... Maybe I just need to play more Null Rods. I guess I could take a Steel Sabotage here and bounce the ring and then counter it. But then aren't I down like way too many cards? I mean, maybe I have enough cards. They go 5 cards this turn. Does it matter what I do? Aren't I just dead? Wish I had a Thoughtseize. If I had a Thoughtseize, I could do it too. Bouncing Thoughtseize. It's like forcing. I either have to like put together a combo win or deal with the ring, right? Like I have to do one of these things. One of these things has to happen. Which is... I just like don't know that deal. Like if I Steel Sabotage and counter the ring, is that even good? Like I just don't even know if that's a good play. I'm just gonna take an Ancestral Recall. It just doesn't even feel like a good play. Like if I could do it this turn, I would do it, right? If I had mana, if I had a Sabotage in my hand, and I had a negation in my hand, then sure, I would bounce this ring and do it, because then they don't draw the 2 to 5 cards they draw this turn. Maybe I just need another needle in my deck. How many needles can I fit in my deck? 4? Ah, 2 rings, 2 turns. The fact that they played a like Ancient Tomb Grafdigger's Cage and then still had a ring on turn 1 is... That's Mana Vault for you. Can't negate a Raker from here, which is pretty problematic as well. I definitely can't play Karn. This is a card I will definitely negate, so I think the stock up is too far gone. What else you have? Time Vault. Okay. I mean, my opponent has no interaction, so like if I can do something powerful, we can win. Ancestral, Time Walk, Vault Key, you know? Not Bilbo. Definitely not Bilbo. Thoughtseize. Just doesn't do anything. Take 3. Low state. I mean, if I get a needle on this flow state, I feel like we might be okay. Maybe not. There is a Inventor's Fair in play. Sapphire Thoughtseize. I could flow state again, but I don't know that that gets us anywhere good. Dismember. It didn't matter at all. Yeah, I mean, their second Mock Needle, I just like think that that's pretty unlikely. Where we can maybe put together a winning play if we have flow state, if we get a following turn, but maybe we never get a following turn. It's probably likely we don't. Oh, wait, they have Inventor's Fair. Oh, we're just dead. Okay, so we actually... We're dead in two ways is the problem. We're dead by cards, and we're dead by Vault Key. They do need to win from here, right? I guess this is an F6 moment. It sucks that they found a key without having to go for it with fair. It's just so hard to have two forces. So you have to have other ways to beat Ring, which is why you normally play a Null Rod or a Hull Breacher. We can't play Null Rod or Hull Breacher in our deck. Well, second Academy here probably seals the deal because it means they can play anything they want. They can go get a new ring off of this. And then they are locked. Wasteland doesn't really beat the ring, no. Okay, this is locked up. I don't know. We had a decent hand. It wasn't a good hand, but it was okay. So these were our 3 cards that wouldn't have done anything. I guess I can't say that wouldn't have done anything because that would have done something, right? I would have been able to force their first play. Maybe that's enough. Maybe I just should have flow stated then. If I think force could maybe get me a turn. I think I have to flow state because they can Vault Key me every time there. Wasteland stops the one ring from being played, and how? What does that mean? Here we go. 1-2 bracket. Haven't been in this bracket in a while. See what we can do here with Lurrus against turn 1 win. We finally have opened an Ancestral hand. That's good. This hand's pretty sweet, so let's see what we can do. Misty Rainforest, maybe Oath then. Blue black, could be Tinker. Thoughtseize. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But I don't think that's a problem because we have a redundancy. We have our Snapcaster Mage, as it were. You may take one card out of my hand. Which card will it be? Got options. They're probably not great unless they think they can win, in which case they could take negation. Okay. We want to draw a blue card so that we have negation up after playing our Bilbo here. Nice. I think they're on Oath. I think they're on Oath with a Thoughtseize. I'm going to play around Mindbreak Trap, not Daze. And I will still play my Petal. And I don't think I have any interest in playing my Lantern. All right. So we've got a Bilbo who flashes back an Ancestral. My opponent could have Force backed up Oath this turn. That would be pretty problematic. That's probably the only thing that's like super bad for us from this spot. I think everything else we can probably be okay with. Anyone else playing this challenge? Death from Above is 2-1 with a game win over Montolio in 3 minutes. That's nice. Ponder. Oh, maybe they're Doomsday? That could be Doomsday then. Could still be Oath. Could still be Tinker. Kind of could be anything that's not Lurrus. And Shops and Bazaar, but any non-blue Lurrus deck. Fetch. What colors are we getting? Lotus. Yeah. Imagine we just die here on turn 2 to Doomsday through Force after they took not our Force. Opponent thought he's taking by Ancestral and then kills us through Force. Be pretty sick. We're deterministically dead here to Force back up. I should say with a cantrip after. All right, they did not have Force backup. That's good. For those keeping track at home, that's a good thing. We are out of forces now, though, so we do need to rebuild, recover, Ancestral Recall myself. Rebuild, recover, recall. Boom. It was right there, Justin, the whole time. Wow, negation. Pitching dig. 1 card left. Wild. Okay. 12 life. Can lantern this Lotus. It's not bad. And then we can start drawing Lantern every turn, so there's some upside here still. 2 cards for my opponent now, so just classic Doomsday. No follow-up Doomsday. Let's draw for turn first. Delta. I think I'm going to start with cantripping my Soul Guide Lantern. Jet. I could go for the Surveil land here, which would give me some pretty powerful options, but would put me further from Lurrus, which I don't think I need to get to Lurrus in this. So I'm gonna go for the Surveil land here. Some really powerful hits here. Not that one. Okay, let's bring back my Lantern. I'll take the Street Wraith, I guess. I don't know. And then I'm still going to crack this Lantern now because of Time Walk. Okay. So, do I want to keep both cards in hand to act like I have counter magic? Do I want to play Emerald and buy Lurrus and say I have no counter magic? Do I want to play Emerald and do nothing else? Do I want to play both and do nothing else? I feel like I don't want to get Lurrus, and I would rather just have 2 cards in my hand. It's kind of I just like don't know that Lurrus here is a card that's actually getting cast anyways. It doesn't change the clock at all. I mean, it kind of changes the clock. It's not exactly true. In some instances, it's pretty impactful on the clock. In some, it's not impactful. It kind of depends. Saga Gaming. We really have missed on... We've had, what, 0 stock up, 0 flow states, 0 Lorians in this game? It's quite abnormal. I should probably just take Ponder. I've just drawn absolutely 0 cards that do something. The Lurrus just doesn't matter at this point. I guess the Lurrus can draw me an additional card next turn. I think never. I think 1 card from our deck is worth far more than hitting crews on their deck. Like if we hit any of our draw spells, don't we run away with the whole game? And there's infinitely more of those than there are cruises. Infinitely being a exaggeration, obviously. None of these cards do anything. I just want a piece of counter magic or something. Help. This is their last turn because I do have a construct. I think I am supposed to play Emerald to crack because I can still play Lurrus to rebuy another lantern if I want to try to find a force. Because lantern only costs 0 with Bilbo right now. Yeah, I mean, I still think I am supposed to crack my lantern. That's not bad. That's not bad. Like, that's at least, that does something. That's our first interactive piece. I can't believe we're winning this game because everything went wrong, actually, after everything went okay. Everything went wrong. Black. No. How many? Yeah, I'll just pay. The Lurrus does change the clock here because now I don't have to make a construct. All right, now I don't think we can die. We could definitely have died there, though. Okay. Oh my god. I feel like we stole that game because those were just not the things we needed to do the game plan. The fact that that can still happen with how many draw spells we have in our deck is pretty wild. All right. But I probably don't have a lot of hate here. I have Consign Flusterstorm. Maybe a way to kill a Murktide Regent. I guess Chain is probably better than Feed the Swarm against Murktide Regent. And then we don't need 2 islands, and we don't need Fatal Push, and we don't really need Lantern, but we just keep it. We definitely don't have a lot of cards for the matchup. Yeah, try that, I guess. I don't feel like this matchup should be that bad, but we were really exposed at every point, basically. That turn 1 Thoughtseize was really good against us, even though we were super redundant. Is this a keep? Flusterstorm is one of our best cards. I don't hate having access to gifts, but is this actually a keep? It's pretty mana heavy. Oh, I don't know. I kind of want to put it back. I don't think this gifts is good here in this exact spot with no support. But the Flusterstorm is so good. I mean, I can play Lurrus Lotus on turn 1, but I can't have Flusterstorm back up, which is pretty bad. If my Lurrus gets countered, I don't have Flusterstorm up after, which is pretty bad. So it would be more like... It'd be more like... play everything pass. And we don't have the ability to cast gifts without using Lotus. Blech. I guess we could buy Lurrus and pass. Seems kind of bad. You also only have 1 layer of interaction for Doomsday, which feels not great, especially if they Thoughtseize us. I guess technically our gifts pile could get Force Negation, Flusterstorm. We don't really have a good 4th spell, maybe Ancestral. I guess that could theoretically work, but then if they just give us the forces... I'm gonna try this for science. We're in the 1-2 bracket. The 1-2 bracket demands science. Every challenge is simply testing. Oh, we're gonna die on turn 1. Red? Oh, no! No, I thought this was... Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. If my opponent could stop having Black Lotuses, that would be great. I'm getting Fantastic card. My opponent have turn 1 Doomsday and Fantastic card. Yeah, I mean... Okay. I mean, we're not dead here, so I'm not going to concede. But it is pretty funny. If I had countered Fantasticar, we would be dead probably to Doomsday. If I had countered Doomsday, we'd be dead to Fantasticar. So like I can theoretically win with... I guess I can't probably win. I probably can't win. But well, let's make a Doomsday pile. We don't even have an Ancestral out here because opponent's not going to draw any cards. They're just going to swing with their constructs. I guess maybe... I don't know. This fucking Black Lotus draws with Doomsday are always so brutal. 51 cards. Oh, they have Bilbo in the 75. Okay. There's Bilbo, Oracle, Chain. It's just one Bilbo. Just like upwards of 1 or 2 Bilbos, maybe. Unable to Scream came in. Interesting. Necro is still there. There's a Daze. So we learned some good information. There's a Dress Down. Yogg Will. Huh. If I go Emerald Lotus Academy, blue mana, black mana Lotus. So that is 6 mana. So a blue and a black floating for all mana and an ancestral, a Time Walk, and ancestral, and Mox. So yeah. All right. I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna go Emerald, Lotus, blue mana, black mana, gifts my opponent. So if I go Ancestral, Time Walk, Petal, Crypt, and my opponent gives me Petal, Crypt, I get to do it all again with a Time Walk and an Ancestral. Yeah, that seems fucking lit. I'm in. Ancestral, Time Walk, Crypt, Petal seems like the way to go here. Done. I wish I had a way I could blow up these constructs, but I just don't. Right? I don't. I assume I don't. I would have to kill too many of them to live. I need to either Vault Key and win, or somehow kill my opponent with card draw. Which I don't know how I'm going to do that. So probably need to take infinite turns. Yep, Crypt, Petal. Okay. Crypt, Petal, blue mana, Yogg Will. Oh god, I have to not die to Crypt too. Yeah, all right. Lotus, Petal. All right. I have Ancestral, Time Walk, Gifts. I have 6 mana again. Oh, if I had a Brain Freeze in my deck, this game would have been very easy. Yes. I would have won the game if I had a Brain Freeze in my deck. True statement. I think it has to be Ancestral myself. I think it just has to be Ancestral myself, and then see where we're at. A Mox would let me not crack. Ooh, whoa, Bilbo, hold on. I think we have deterministically possibly extended the game. So maybe not, because I have to lose my Lotus to play Bilbo and Time Walk. But Bilbo would let me recast Gifts on the following turn, which might not be enough anyways, because I don't have a Yogg Will or a Lurrus going. Can't. Time Walk. Gifts. Mox Bilbo. I guess we have to sacrifice our Black Lotus. Lose it. Well, I can't. I don't have that much mana. I only have Oh, I do have that much mana because, oh my god, I do have that much mana. Holy, Bilbo reduces the time walk from my, oh my god. Okay, Bilbo reduces the time walk from my yard. Oh my god. Okay, I time walk, and then on the next turn I gifts, and then I need to win with the gift. Oh my god. I have to win crit flips too, by the way. Okay, I tiles. I am at 1. Bilbo, shit card. Okay, so I play C, and then I cast gifts for 3 mana, and I don't think I can win, right? I don't think I can win because I can't Yogwill anymore, and I can't Bilbo. If I gifts, is there any combination of cards left in my deck that actually does something? I don't think there is, because there's no Time Walk, there's no Ancestral. I can like get a DT pile, but it's just not doing anything. So I think I have to cast Lorien Revealed. I think I have to cast Lorien Revealed. Unless I think gifting for tutors is better. Well, what if I gifts for half of the key combo and then the rest is mana? But I also, like, if I want to give Lorien Revealed now, I have to use my Academy, which is not good. I could put Key, and I could put DT, Flow State, Stock Up. Those don't really help me, though, right? They give me Stock Up, Flow State, and then I cast Stock Up after, and my Stock Up has to hit exactly Volt. I also need to get rid of my Mana Crypt somehow. I guess I can put a chain in the pile, but that doesn't actually help me because they'll just get rid of my chain. But it could also generate me more mana too. I kind of think gifts first might still be better. I have no idea, by the way. This is uncharted territory. Gifts. I could get more mana with this gifts too. I can't get both Time Vault and Key. Can only get one. So I get Key. I get Stock Up. I guess like Flow State is pretty bad, huh? Should I just get Sapphire Pearl? And then they just give me Sapphire Pearl. So if I get both Time Vault and Key, they put both in my yard, and I only have one way to return a card from my yard with Lurrus. So I want to get one piece, put it in my yard to get Lurrus. So I think I'm supposed to take Sapphire Pearl to give me the most possible mana. Well, I think DT doesn't do anything. Oh, I guess they can never give me DT, right? So DT is free. So I can go DT, Stock Up, Key, and Sapphire, maybe? I don't think Flow State's good. Or I could take Chain, because they can't give me... I mean, they could give me Key, and then put DT Chain in the yard, and then gives me Stock Up. And then I would have to rely on Lorien. I mean, they could give me Sapphire Key. I play both. And then my Lorien has to hit. I feel like we're getting rid of too many things. I want to do Chain, DT, Keys, stock up. And let's see where that goes. I don't think I have enough mana for this shit. I feel like I had to go mana. But that only gives me +1 mana since the gifts, +1 tutor. So I would have to have my Lorien revealed hit. Oh, I guess if they don't give me chain, then I have no way to get my freaking mana. I have to win a mana crypt flip, and then my Bilbo can bounce back my chain. So this leaves me, if I can do everything, on still I need to win a crypt flip. So maybe not my best play either. I need to find Vault and Key and bring them back. Both I can't put, I just said I couldn't put Key and Vault in my graveyard with gifts. I had to attack. They put the Demonic Tutor and the Manifold Key in my yard. That's really good for me. I think that's really good for me. I think that is very good for me. So I make all my mana, and then I need to make this into black mana. And I still need my stock up to hit, right? So I think I just start with stock up. Maybe this was forced. I don't know. Oh, I don't have Lurrus in my hand. I think I'm just dead then. Because I can make an additional 3 mana from here. I think I'm cooked. I don't really know. None of these cards do anything though, so. Oh, I guess this makes 4 mana. So how close am I, chat? Am I close? I don't think I'm close. So if I had hit on that stock up, do I have exactly enough? I'm actually 1 short. Okay, even if I had hit on that stock, that stock up had to be Time Vault and a Mox. And then I had to win the crypt flip. Maybe there was something better there, but that was a pretty good attempt. That was a pretty close attempt. Oh, the key is free. The key is free. So I just needed to hit Time Vault. I was... Oh. And I would have to win the crypt flip, or do I still have to win the crypt flip, or no? It's just hit off the stock up and win the crypt flip. Because Chain was a ton of mana there, actually. Chain was really sick there. So I had how much left after all that? I had 2 blue and a colorless. Yeah, so we actually set ourselves up with if Time Vault is in the top 5, we win on a crypt flip. Well, I have Lurrus, so I don't have to flashback Chain because I can gain 3 life. So, but I do need to win the crypt flip. So it's 1 crypt flip win, and Time Vault was in my top 5. That's not bad. I mean, we almost won that game. That was an actual chance of winning. That's pretty sweet. play Lurrus before stocking up there, so I have one more mana from Academy. Oh, you're right. Because key is 0. Because key is 0, then playing Lurrus first actually gets you a mana. If I gifts for key and vault, how do I return key and vault in the same turn? Am I crazy? Like, they are forced to put both cards in the yard, and then I can return one of those cards with Lurrus. And that's it. I'm not missing something there, right? I've had to say that like 3 times. Bounce back Lurrus and play them both. Oh no, bounce back. Oh no. Nah, we probably don't have enough mana to do that. I didn't think about I did not think about bounce back Lurrus, play them both. So I didn't think of that one. That's pretty dope though. If we have the mana for that, that'd be pretty sick. So it would have to be what? It would have to be like chain. Am I keeping this hand? I kind of think I'm supposed to keep this hand. I'm gonna keep this hand. It would be like you would get chain and you would get another free card because they can't keep both. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I might have had it there. Yeah, it's possible. We can go back and look after the round. What am I even taking on this Thoughtseize, by the way? Is there something? Am I actually thinking about this, or am I just still thinking about last game? Just take Fluster. Hey, at least we're not getting turn 1 this time. All right, we gotta play a new game, chat. We'll go back after. It was a cool spot. It was a really cool spot. I am dying, huh? That is fine with me. What are they force pitching? Sure. Surely they don't have like Doomsday Force backup as their last cards here. That'd be pretty sick. No. I mean, like, I think Necro would be even better. Okay, they don't have it. Thank God. Scared me there. Does that mean they have hard cast negation? I do have to beat my own crypt flips here, which is non-trivial. All right, I finally got a resolver. I like Flusterstorm, and I like just the land. I guess I could play Sapphire. I really want Flusterstorm. Sapphire opens me up to Null Rod for no reason, and this gives me second black. It's got to be better. Oh, I should... Oh, wait, I don't have a fetch. I still don't have a fetch for my Yogwill. I still don't have an instant in my yard for my flow state either. Also, if I Yogwill and, like, probe, I might end up in a spot where I don't have any life. I should probably just like get to a Lurrus spot here, so I don't have to worry about my life. Yeah, I mean this seems fine to me. I'll just buy Lurrus and I'll pass with all these blue cards. Opponent has cast 0 cantrips in this game, so I guess if they have a land here, they can play a Doomsday that doesn't get Flusterstormed immediately, which is pretty powerful. Blue. Brainstorm. Man, I would love to counter that. Feels too aggressive, though. Feels pretty aggressive. All I want to do is go back to that gift stuff and see if we can win the game. It was so hard, though. I missed the extra mana off of the free key plus academy. I have to keep reminding myself about the Bilbo. The Bilbo, like, randomly reducing other things. Randomly reducing Yogwill, randomly reducing Lurrus. All right, my opponent's got the cards they want now, so let's see what happens. If I do counter anything this turn, I have Flow State online, which could be pretty powerful. Blue-black. Could be Bilbo. Kind of hate that for me. But I can't really pitch non-flow state cards, right? I guess I can just pitch flow state and counter this. It's really annoying that it blocks my Lurrus, and I don't really want it to block my Lurrus, and maybe that's... I mean, I probably should Yogwill next turn and, like, probe Thoughtseize or something. I'm just, like, pretty worried about my life total. Oh, they're forcing back pitching Oracle, 1 card left. Okay, well, I'm just gonna fluster this. See if I win my flip or not, maybe. I think we have enough clock, as long as we don't do anything crazy. We do need to find another blue card for the next turn here. Oh, they have a follow-up? I mean, if they have follow-up Ancestral, good on them. Follow-up Cruise is pretty sick, too. Jeez! Well played. Well played. Did not see that coming. Now I'm, like, kind of incentivized to do the Yogwill, Thoughtseize stuff. Again, I probably need to win this flip to do that. Oh. Okay, well, I'll cast Ancestral targeting me. Okay. I don't have a land in my yard, so I actually can't replay anything if I play Yogwill, so I will simply play my Lurrus out and hold up Force It Misstep. It's pretty good. If I can get to my next turn, I should be golden, because this graveyard should eat them alive. And I have Force Misstep, so I feel like I should be in a decent spot. They played really well, though. They got an Ancestral to resolve over the top of all of that. They might have been able to let the Fluster resolve, then cast Ancestral, then draw Force for Force on the Bilbo, though. So maybe they could have done that slightly better, right? That must have been a sick brainstorm, huh? Must have been a really good brainstorm. All right, 4 unknowns from the opponent. 4 unknowns. Lurrus is in play. The fact that none of our lands have been fetch lands in this game has been pretty annoying. We had a fetch land, then we could easily cast Ancestral and stock up. Or, and Thoughtseize and stock up, and everything. I really want to see something that gives me more blue mana next turn if I try to play Yogwill. I guess it might just get like Hardcast negated though. I don't have anything to bring back with Lurrus. What a weird game. Wish this Lurrus was a Bilbo. When companion Bilbo when? I think Chain in that last game was a pretty good example of why you probably want to play Chain instead of the other bounce spells, though, Sully. This is end step dress down. Wow. Yeah. Turns off life gain for a turn. Could be relevant. If I lose both flips and force of will. I've won a bunch of flips in this game. I have won a bunch of flips in this game. So do I want to play flow state or do I want to play Yogg? I think I just want to play flow state. If I can get like a fetch land now. Okay, well now I think I'm supposed to play Yogwill. Ancestral, target me. Yeah. Ugh. Stock up. Do we probe? Go to 5. Should be fine. Okay. Demonic Sapphire Car. I actually have to counter the stupid car. So annoying. That's crazy. I have to counter the car here. They have a flipped car. They deterministically have a flipped car. So I can negate the car, force the DT, go to 1, go back up to 4. And then I have hard casts, so should be fine after that. The only way I can lose here is if I have to counter 2 things with force, then I could lose a flip. So I think we're good. When you get to like the point where you draw spells with this deck, you just like classic Jeskai them. You just kill them by drawing cards. This is really impressive. I've been very happy. Obviously not the best challenge so far for us. 1-2 is definitely worse than our last few ones, but they've been tough matches. I'm not really sure what opponent is like thinking about. Like what card could you draw here that changes your play? Like isn't your play almost always going to be lead Fantasticar as force bait? If it doesn't get forced, then you have Mox second spell, DT third spell, any 0-drop is fourth spell. Are they leading DT? They're Sapphire. Tap 2 Sapphire. Spell 1. Then car. Sure. I mean, that's fine too. Negate the car. I'm probably just hitting this DT because it makes my life much easier. DT is force pitch Lorien, untap, attack, pass. Hold up these cards. And then we play Delver. I've won every flip, by the way. I have 5, 8, 9, 10 mana. So I can play this as well. Sync is a counterspell. Sync is a full time walk versus a Doomsday from this spot. This card has text. I do think I won a lot of crit flips in this game, so that is something to consider. But I do feel like we were good, even if we lost a crit flip there, so... So what is my best spell to cast with this Bilbo? Why do I have a needle in my deck, man? It's probably just stock up. Why do I have a needle in my deck? Ah! Sure, that'll do. Yeah, I think it was around 50-50 because I do think we lost like a bunch of the first flips for sure. I mean, it was probably like slightly favored for us. Lost all the back ones that didn't matter. I got them killed 2 different ways. For fun, I'll cast Time Walk one more time. All right. Cool win. I'd love to go back and see in game 2 if we could have won. Dark Ritual, sure. Probably going for Force, maybe. I had another Force, so. Sweet win. So we're just quickly looking back at that gifts pile, and I'm thinking that we can win. I haven't done the math yet, but if we do key and time vault, it means they always have to put both of the key and time vault in the yard, because if they only give you one, then the Lurrus can always bring it back. Though that does put the game at a 50-50 flip. So if they calculate that we are 100% to win with the chain, they could make the game a 50-50 flip by putting the chain in the yard. But if they were to give us Chain Pearl here or Chain Jet here, that would give us access to put Jet in play, buy Lurrus. I guess I don't make any mana off of Lurrus and bringing back a card, so it's just play Jet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. Assuming I have enough mana to Lurrus, buy back Time Vault, chain my Lurrus, chain my Moxen, buy back Key, which I think I do, then I would actually win here no matter what, because I would Vault Key and not take any damage from Mana Crypt and win. If they were to give me Key and if they were not to give me Chain, then I need to win 1 Crypt flip to win. Assuming I did all the mana math right, which is crazy. So there was a line maybe, and we kind of missed it off the chain. Classic. All right, welcome to the very powerful 2-2 bracket of this vintage challenge up against Andy Montolio. Andy kicked my butt in a league with this testing with this deck earlier today, so we'll see what we can do. I am scared. This looks like a good hand though. I'm in. Andy was testing like a 5 Moxen Lurrus deck, it looked like. It seemed like there were maybe stock ups, maybe there were flow states and Bilbos. It was a little hard to tell because he basically played every card known to man against me. I saw like a Frog, a Wasteland, a Bilbo, a flow state, an Emerald, and a Ruby. I saw a Caracas in game 2, but only blue-black mana in game 1. So I'd love to see what this list looks like after it gets published. Hopefully, if it gets published, I guess. Either way, Sapphire, Basic Island, Bilbo, never into Mindbreak Trap here, and then Mox around Baubles and Baubles and Lavinias and that kind of thing. And so don't have the ability to flashback any spells off this gifts unless I draw a Mox. Because if I draw a Mox, I could cast gifts and put an Ancestral in the pile, and then I could flashback the Ancestral if Bilbo gives it to me with Bilbo. That probably is unlikely to happen. The most likely thing to happen here is our Bilbo just gets like Fatal Pushed or something. But I can't do much about that either, so. If our Bilbo does get Fatal Pushed, I think, oh, geez, Lotus. I think I'd be interested in like maybe buy Lurrus pass. Buy Lurrus Fetchland pass. This Black Lotus is quite good here, obviously. And Sapphire. 5 mana. Ancestral Recall. All right. Well, that's Montolio. We are getting outgunned. Not ideal. Not ideal. And a DT. All right. I mean, DT Frog here seems pretty damn good. Obviously, DT removal still pretty solid. We're just getting bullied. We are getting bullied. Did Matt win? Yeah, okay. Matt versus Tony again. All right, DT. Fatal Push my Bilbo, yeah. Bilbo can dismember for 0 mana. It's pretty sweet. A new Bilbo. I'm in. I think that's better than buying Lurrus. All right. Opponent has 6 cards still because Ancestral. But DT and Lotus at least went away. Frog is still problematic from this spot, don't get me wrong. And is one of the things I'm working on fixing in deck building for this kind of deck. I do think it's unnecessarily weak to Frog. Flow state with sorcery and instant. Sure. I'm okay with that. See what happens here. Okay, tap land. If we can get a spell for our Bilbo, we might be in a nice spot. One of the downsides, though, is if my opponent has a negation blue card, they can negate the gifts. They've milled over Frog. So what I really want to do is end step on sewers of my own and hit a spell I can cast with Bilbo. Yeah, I think a lot of the Frog decks have Bilbo now. That's not what we want. Misstep. So here comes the question. Do we cast Gifts Ungiven knowing that opponent can have a negation, taking all of our momentum away? Or do we cast Gifts Ungiven, making a pile with Time Walk and Ancestral, and immediately like getting a huge advantage? I'm pretty sure I'm casting it. I hate not casting it. I hate not casting it. If it's Force of Will, it's fine. Oh, okay, we resolved here. So Ancestral, Time Walk, Vault Key, maybe? If we go Ancestral, Time Walk, Vault Key, Flashback, Time Walk, we don't have enough for Lurrus. We don't have enough for Lurrus at the moment. Ancestral, Time Walk. We could play like a Thought Seize. I mean, our Time Walk could still be getting countered, and then our Bilbo be getting countered, and we put too many cards into our yard that kill us. But putting a Key and a Vault into our yard when we have a Lurrus coming is like pretty reasonable. Ancestral, Time Walk, Black Lotus is totally fine. No, that's definitely one of the options. I almost like Ancestral, Time Walk, Lotus, Stock Up. Or DT, sure. I'm like a little worried about putting all of the best cards in. If we get like, say we get our Time Walk dazed and our Bilbo destroyed, you know. But we do have a mental misstep. I like Lotus. Oh, I might try. So like the problem is, yeah, I'll try this. I'll try Ancestral, Time Walk, DT, Lotus. Let's try that. How bad can that possibly go? He said. Oh well, no, they can give the time. Oh, if they give me Time Walk, then I just flashback Black Lotus and cast Time Walk, right? I guess that's fine. Like if they give me Time Walk, then I need an additional way. That's fine though. I think that's fine. I think we needed the Black Lotus in the pile actually, because if I didn't put a mana in the pile, then I would have issues with the Time Walk if they didn't put the Time Walk in the yard, if they put the Time Walk in my hand. I guess that means I still have issues if they do something like that. I mean, if opponent has absolutely factually nothing, I assume we win from this, right? I mean, maybe they have a misstep of their own and they give me Ancestral Time Walk in my hand. I flashback Lotus. No, that can't be right. This looks nuts, doesn't it? This makes gifts look so good. I feel like this makes gifts looks insane. This whole stream has made gifts look insane. We have to think he doesn't have anything, right? Or he would have countered gifts. Surely if he had a spell, he would counter gifts, right? Ancestral Walk. Okay. So this is quite simple here. We attack and get our Black Lotus back, and then we Ancestral and Walk, and I mean, maybe our Black Lotus gets negated. No? Okay. I mean, what's left? Surely we're just winning from this spot. I guess I just start with Ancestral, right? I guess I could get Mind Break trapped. Whatever. Ancestral, target me. Mental misstep. Mental misstep. I had it covered, baby. I had it covered the whole time. Yes! Let's go! That's the hugest gifts win of the night. That is a single hand gifts Bilbo carry. That's so impressive. That's so impressive. Holy hell. Wow. Wow. Okay, that's great. We got a game one from a pretty precarious looking spot. Our opponent led with Lotus, Mox, Ancestral, DT, Fatal Push our Bilbo, and we won that game. Wow. Okay, all right. So what do we want to do? We want to bring in things that kill Frog and Bilbo. We want to maybe bring in Lantern. We want to bring in Fluster, maybe Chain, and that's probably it. We want to keep... We don't want Needle. We don't want Negation. We don't really need Probe, in my opinion, with the Thought Seizes. I've been boarding out the gifts, but maybe the gifts is just too sick to board out. I usually bring out the Emerald. So I think I'm not going to bring in the Lantern. So my opponent is a Bilbo deck, but they could also be a Null Rod deck. So I don't think I'm going to bring in the Lantern. And then I probably want to bring out one more card. What is the card I would want to bring out? Normally I would say Bilbo, but we kind of need the redundancy versus removal, right? Maybe I'll just take a flow state out. Yeah, but Sabotage has got to be worse than Chain of Vapor, right? Chain of Vapor can hit a frog. Oh, boot camp got announced, chat. Am I in? I'm in. Let's go. Hell yeah. I guess we'll get some streams this week. Pro Division. I'm actually level 1. Damn, I wasn't sure I would be playing this time. Hell yeah. Let's go. Teamfight Tactics streamer tournament. Streamer ladder race. All right. I'll focus on that after. It's a really good time to be doing that ladder race because I'm trying to make a high rank and qualify for a LAN event at the end of the year. It'd be really cool to play in the Vegas Open. All right, we've got Saga, Volkey, Long Goodbye, no Moxen. I mean, this seems fine, yeah. I have played PvE. I played about 30 matches on PvE. The new set, I think the set itself is quite good. The trait webs are very interesting. Charms are okay. They do change the game and make for some interesting decisions. I'm not like the biggest fan of charms. But I will say that their move to the new engine is very ambitious. And it's going to result in some hiccups. Oh, I think it's much, much better than the last set. The last set will go down as probably one of the weakest TFT sets of all time, I would assume. I think it's better than the last set for sure. It's not as good. I don't think it will end up being as good as the set before the last set, but I will say that the people might be very upset with all of the bugs from the Unity engine switch. So, oh yeah, but last set was just like completely like very boring to play. Like it's one of the few sets that I just didn't play after hitting Masters. I just let the whole thing drop. So my opponent is playing stock ups in this deck. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that like having the least amount of RNG makes for a good set, in my opinion. I think there's a combination of things. Obviously, from a competitor standpoint, having low RNG is important, or to them. But I mean, from a lot of the competitors' standpoint, oh, I don't think that's a true statement at all. I don't think least RNG means more skill expression. I don't think that's true. I think that might actually be the opposite. That's fine, but it is. Okay. Well, I don't think we're going to be able to have a conversation about it then. That does not make sense from a game design perspective. What do I want to do with this? I wish we had a Mox. I feel like we'd be in a lot better spot with a Mox. I think I like just fetching a basic and searching a basic. That feels like the thing that makes the most sense to me. No follow-up land. That makes my Saga game plan pretty good. We don't have to play this fast, chat. We definitely do not have to play this fast. I think I'm going to get an underground sea now, though, because we haven't seen the Wasteland yet. And we still have another Lorien revealed anyways. I really don't want to get a random spell pierced here. So I think I will just cast the flow state. Because if the flow state gets spell pierced, I don't even care. No, I'm planning to win this game with Volt Key. I want to win this game with Volt Key. I think that's a very reasonable path to victory in this game when my opponent is choked on mana after going like double pedal. Well, I mean, Saga is a plan, right? Like Saga is part of a plan for sure. Like Saga, it provides something that they have to deal with right away. Like if they can't beat the Saga, then they can't beat the Saga, and we beat them with the Saga. But no, I don't think that, like, obviously those plans aren't doing the same thing, but they aren't at odds with each other either. Maybe my opponent doesn't have Null Rods in his deck at all. This is another stock up. That's pretty good here. Maybe he doesn't actually care about Saga tokens. I guess that would be kind of bad for me. If he doesn't care about Saga tokens and he has like some kind of powerful plays. This is like this is a pretty bad sequence for me. Opponent drawing with the Spellbomb, finding a Mana Source, and playing stock up. Especially if the stock up hits a Wasteland, killing the Saga. I guess at that point we are throwing some spells in, but it could be really bad. It's not like we have It's not like we have a Vexing Bubble to get off of our Urza Saga that lets us play through negations. But opponent can't just sit on counter spells because there is a Saga. It has to be a combat. No land after stocking up and probing? That's wild, right? Okay, so I think here I am going to play the key. If they counter the key, they counter the key. But this is just like using our mana efficiently. If they negate the key and we can never go Vault Key, I think that is fine. Okay, Misstep is fine. We can get that back later with Lurrus and Lotus and stuff, so. I guess they could have a Dress down, theoretically. I assume they're going to like cast another stock up this turn, right? Like, what else can you possibly have? I mean, the fact that we didn't get a Wastelanded off of the stock up is a huge win. It's a big deal. I feel like my opponent must have run pretty. They must have not have run very well off these stock ups, right? Third stock up, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, this one will surely find a Wasteland though, and that makes our plays really hard because we lose out on the Lotus mana and we lose out on a construct. We're actually pretty far behind if this stock up finds a Wasteland, right? Also, like, I need to clear my opponent's graveyard at some point here. Yeah, so that found a Strip Mine. Strip Mine hits my Saga. They still have 6 cards in hand. I think we're behind now by a lot. But opponent played a lot more stronger spells than we did. We haven't played, like, that much stuff. No. They have Wastelands. I played against them today before the event. So I have options here. I'm definitely playing Petal and attacking. And then from there, I have Lorien revealed. I have by Lurrus. I mean, I feel like they're going to have a negation, though, you know? I feel like a negation is highly likely. Do they know about this C? I feel like they don't know about this C. I wonder if I can incentivize. I guess I still have a sewers, right? I think I'm just supposed to buy Lurrus. I don't think we're favored from this spot, but we do have like a little bit of a mana advantage at the moment. Flow state. Yeah, I mean they're doing so they built a Frog Wasteland flow state stock up deck. I mean, they are certainly doing worse than their average challenge performance, but then again, so are we. Frog, yeah. Am I supposed to... And Bobble. How do they fit all of these cards in the deck? Am I supposed to use this Longabind now because it's mana efficient, even if we lose Petal? I think so. We don't have a force. We just keep drawing lands. I mean, we're just never going to be able to protect this Lurrus, right? So I think we should just play it, right? I mean, I could play it. I just feel like they have... Do they have negations? If we take our whole turn and we cast Lorien Reveal... I mean, I really don't want to get my Lorien Revealed, Spell Pierce, or Flustered, so... I'm going to cast Lorien Revealed. I'm going to cast Lorien Revealed now. I feel like the Lurrus is more valuable. I'm just like worried about negation. Like if they have only negation and they negate this, it's a pretty big tempo swing because it's so much mana. But they do know we have Lurrus Time Vault with Key in the yard, so maybe they can't ever counter it. Yeah, here's negation pitching Bilbo. I feel like we just don't have enough action considering our opponents outdrawn us by 7 cards this game. 8 cards this game. Flow state again. Wow. Okay. I mean, I think we can put the Emerald back in our deck. I don't think they have a Null Rod. You can't play a Null Rod in this deck, right? Surely not. They finally hit a second land. That wasn't a waste. They could buy Lurrus. Oh, they're going sewers. So they are deep in the searching. Interesting. Because they could buy Lurrus here. They kept it on top. And another flow state. I mean, they must be trying to find a force. That must be it, right? So they don't have any more forces. So if we had resolved Lurrus last turn, we could have resolved Lurrus, but we could have gotten our key negated, basically. So I think my opponent found a force off of this sewers and then flow stated into it to counter my Lurrus. But now I have a stock up. I'm casting stock up for sure. Because we can get thought seizes and stuff from here. Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. Flusterstorm Lotus, chat. That has to be nuts. Flusterstorm Lotus? Play Lurrus with Flusterstorm backup? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. 3 mana, 2 mana, 1 mana. We can't play everything. That's got to be worth, though. I mean, I could take Flusterstorm stock up and just stock up again this turn. That's another option, right? I don't have to play Lotus. I could just go for another stock up and keep the Flusterstorm, but then there's no guarantee my opponent taps out again. I don't know. This is too aggressive, but this is the play that I like the most here. Am I going to make more from attacking first or after? I think after, right? Assuming it resolves. I could play the Time Vault now as well to get an extra damage in. I have 6 mana. This is 6 mana, so I would be replaying a Petal instead of a Key, and then I would have to resolve the Key on the following turn. So I do think I go Misty, Time Vault. Do I have another land to fetch? I do. Misty, Time Vault. If they counter this with a negation, I don't think I'm fighting over it, right? Huh. I don't know. Negation pitching will. Wow. If they have another force or a trap, it's really bad for me to counter here. I'm countering here. I think I'm countering here. I don't know. It's so close. It really is so close. They pitched a Force of Will. Okay, so I'm going to let this resolve, and then I'm going to attack for 4, just in case the Lurrus doesn't resolve. And then I'm going to go Lurrus, rebuy Lotus, and then they have to kill my Lurrus, or I Volt Key them, and I still have a Construct in play. But I am out of cards. Ship it. 5 mana, 4 cards for my opponent. I've got creatures in play that win. I've got a key in my yard. I've got lots of flow states and stock ups to draw to. Yep, long goodbye on my Lurrus. Uncounterable. Buy Lurrus. Makes sense. We've got lots of draws that win the game. Lots of draws win the game here. Lots of draws win. And a C. Maybe if they have a Fatal Push, then it gets a little bit dicier. That's a good one. Stock up. My turn to stock up. Chain Bilbo Jet Lantern. So Bilbo represents a win on the next turn, and Lantern clears the whole yard. But Jet Lantern represents a win right now. Oh, oh no. Do we think they have a Fatal Push? Do we think they have a Fatal Push? It's gotta be Bilbo Lantern. It's gotta be Bilbo Lantern. It covers way more. I think it's gotta be Bilbo Lantern, Lead Lantern. I guess Frog is the most unique hit. Probably gonna wipe their whole yard, so. Hit them for 5, putting them to 1. Yeah, you're right. It's not logical to have it. You're right. You're absolutely right. Like, it's better to, I mean, but it could make me do a bad play. I'm gonna crack my whole opponent's yard here. I don't know. Maybe you might be right. It's not logical for them to have a Fatal Push left. They could have a chain left, though, right? They could have a bounce spell. There are like strictly removal spells he could have there. No, you might be right. Maybe I'm just supposed to go Mox, cowardly. Well, but they had me on 0 cards solely, is what chat is saying, which is not unreasonable. Lorien revealed. Needs to find answers to 2 things. This was a cool match. I like opponent's deck. It's probably very similar to our deck with just without Vault Key and more Wasteland elements. I play with fear of nuts in my opponent's hand. Yeah, that's called being a good player for the most part. Trying to figure out what's in my opponent's hand is usually a good thing. Here's Lurrus. I think it's reasonable to sometimes say I give up equity based on playing around Magic cards, but for the most part, it's just gonna be just more winning in the long run for sure. I don't think there's anything my opponent can really hit from this spot now. Like, a lot of things, there's like, hey, how does my opponent win from this overwhelming spot? And one way my opponent wins from that overwhelming spot is having a removal spell, whether that be bounce or not. That's one way my opponent wins from that spot, is me making that play. When it's very hard for my opponent to win if I don't don't give them an opportunity to. I believe no, you're absolutely right. You can sometimes miss a win by being too preventative, and you can sometimes turn a win into a loss by playing too aggressively. Like it goes both ways. So this is negation on my key, but I still have the lethal attack. Actually, only because of the time walk, right? This kills him. He has to chump block there. If he chump blocks, time walk wins, but he doesn't know I have time walk. So that's kind of surprising that he blocked there. Found the negation, which was the only counterspell that worked there because he's tapped out at 1 life. Didn't he bobble me? Ooh, you're right. You're right. You're right. I think he did bobble me. So he did know about time walk. So he did know that time walk killed him. That's true. That is true. Yeah, you're right. He's just dying because he's dying from here because he knows about time walk. Yeah, that's true. He had double bobble, right? So there's no way he doesn't know my top card. Why not long goodbye? What do you mean? I have a long goodbye. My opponent has a long goodbye. Oh, why didn't I cast long goodbye? Yeah, I don't know, man. I saw the time walk in my hand. I picked a spell that wins. You bring up a solid point. If I get back long goodbye, that one does not get negated, and I am attacking and winning that way as well. Yeah, that's fair. I guess theoretically, if my opponent has blue card negation, then my key can get negated and my time walk can get negated, and a chump block would save him. And then I would, I guess there theoretically could be another turn of the game based on the way I made that last play. That's true. All right, chat, welcome to the 6th and final round of Swiss in this vintage challenge. We took some losses early, so we are definitely in a rough spot here, breakers-wise. Even if we win, we probably have very few chances of going in. That being said, we do want to try to finish off strong and get good testing, so I'm going to play Reveal My Cat, and our opponent is not revealing a cat. They were last seen on Lurrus Breach. Is this hand keepable with no cat reveal, though? There's just like so many ways I die, right? I really dislike the idea of keeping this against no cat reveal. Let me just go see what's in my opponent's range. All right, so AFX played Lurrus Breach 15 days ago and has played Raker Shops, Sphere Shops, Bazaar, Oath, kind of the whole range of things. So if it's Oath, I could easily backfire on me keeping here, but a stock up is a really nice turn 1 play. If it's Bazaar, we have a nice coverage with our main deck Needle. If it's the One Ring, we have coverage with main deck Needle. If it's Sensei's top Raker combo, we have coverage with Needle. I think I'm willing to keep this here. I think we cover enough that it's worth it. But it is scary. All right, so not Bazaar. It is Workshops. Is it Raker or it's Raker or Jewel? Is it the One Ring? I kind of hope it's the One Ring because we actually have a game plan here versus the One Ring. If it's a Jewel, we probably just die. Tezzeret. So that's Vexing Bobble, huh? That's a really strong hand. It's very good against our hand. Yeah. That's really bad for us. How do we progress forward in this game without our Moxen? I think the answer is... Jeez. I mean, we can needle the One Ring. We can needle Tezzeret. We can needle Sensei's top. But we can only needle one of those things. I feel like it has to be the One Ring. but he just plays the One Ring anyways. Ooh, excuse me. And then searches up a top and then has top key. This Vexing Bauble is really hampering the thing I wanted to do in this game. No chance of Wastelands. I just don't know. I just don't know if this is Sensei's top. Sensei's top is the most likely because they have a Tezzeret already. But if it's a ring, I just die on the spot. But they don't have a lot of ways to spin. Needling Key doesn't really help because there's a Tezzeret that does the same thing as Key. It's really Sensei's top or the One Ring, and I think the One Ring is the one I'm gonna go for, but I would be okay with someone naming top here. Our next play will be Saga, and then hopefully we can make a way through, but yeah, he has Time Vault, but like that's like our way of winning the game, so like we can't really name Time Vault here, and he doesn't have any way of searching for Time Vault. So that's the big problem with this deck. This deck has no way to find Time Vault. So there's just one Time Vault somewhere in his deck. So here's the One Ring. So this is great. It's the play that my opponent is still going to make because it gives an artifact so that the Tezzeret can search for a top later. But we successfully needled the One Ring. That was a really big win for us. Okay. That was the skill checkpoint of this game. Maybe the mulligan was also a skill checkpoint of this game, to be fair. But this was the one choice we really had, keeping our hand, and we passed, so that's good. The problem is my opponent plays another artifact. It puts the Tezzeret to 4, and then they get a Sensei's top, and then they start spinning. Ooh, another ring. Okay, yeah. I mean, this is great. Like this is the needle working to peak capacity. This is why the needle is in the deck, in the main, is for the One Ring primarily. So now this Tezzeret can minus and get a Sensei's top. And my opponent does have a key and a monolith and a Sensei's top, so that's not great for me. But I don't have a lot of game plan. Like, this Vexing Bauble was extremely good against us. I don't know. Wow, they already... Oh, okay, so they're just drawing cards. Yeah, that makes sense. As Dark brought up, at any point, if my opponent finds a Time Vault, we are dead. If they find a Raker, we are probably also dead because of Raker double top off of Tezzeret. So, I mean, we're probably still just dead, but we're putting our best foot forward here. We've also drawn land every turn of this game, which has not helped our cause. I kind of have very low... I feel that our constructs have basically no chance. And so the thing that I feel like gives us the highest chance is hitting our Time Vault. So I'm going to fetch an Underground Sea, stock up looking for Time Vault. And that way, if we do get a turn, we have a key off of Saga. Because I don't think this construct is the game plan that we're looking to do here. So I think our chances of winning are still very low, but I think this gives us our best out. We missed. We found Force. Nothing good here. I'm going to take Force just in case they drop their Bauble, but there's just no reason for them to ever drop their Bauble. We could always force pitching Lorien Reveal to turn on Flow States. We're going to have way not enough mana to Gifts ever to matter, right? It's just like, even if we get a Black Lotus, we're going to be so short on mana for Gifts ever to work. So I'll take Force Flow State. We might even throw, like I said, we might even throw our Force into a Bauble if it gives us the ability to... The problem is, like, 2 cards out of Flow State just doesn't matter either. Our opponent should definitely have drawn with their top in upkeep so that they could get another counter on their Tezzeret off of the Workshop mana. What is happening? Oh. Yeah, that does it too. That does it too. Sure. Can't beat this now. Oh, they have lattice as well, so we actually just dead immediately. Okay. Yeah, we got pretty overwhelmed based on our keep. Again, I think it's totally reasonable to have mulliganed our hand in the blind. It's tough. It's hard. It's a hard call. We get to bring in Steel Sabotage, Hercule's Recall, Consigned to Memory, Chain of Vapor, Annul, Dismember, Long Goodbye, possibly Fatal Push, possibly Feed the Swarm. These are the possibilities. We weren't bringing all of them in. We have the mana capacity to take out 2 islands here. We don't have any need for a Soul Guide Lantern. Flusterstorm is a dead card. I don't usually take Probe here. And then I was trimming some of our top end to fit some of the removal spells. Probably the 1 mana removal spells. Even though we need Revolt for this one. And then which top end am I taking out? I can take out Gifts. I could take out Flow State. I could take out a Bilbo. This seems fine to me. We need to get a little bit leaner. It's a great looking hand. 1 for 1. 1 mana counter spells. They kept 7 though. I feel like I've never seen a Raker player mulligan. Not ideal. 6 mana opener for the opponent. Sensei's Top is fine. Jet is fine. 7 mana opener. Key is annoying with Sensei's Top having resolved. Probably countering Key. That doesn't really make me very happy, but Time Vault. Turns so many things into must counters. Have to let it go. No follow-up. Okay. Gonna need to hit off this, but I'm definitely casting it. Land plus another draw spell is probably what we want. Okay. No land. Merchant Scroll is a draw spell if I want it. I could take Merchant Scroll Misstep. No, I needed a blue mana so I could play Consign. Jesus. Okay, no blue mana. So I can't play Consign this turn. So maybe I just need to take Misstep Force to give me the most play. Super bad, isn't it? I feel like taking a Force here is just bad. I think I just take Misstep Scroll. Top upspin on upkeep. I think I would rather just hit. I feel like I need to play to win. Okay, they didn't have a follow-up Tez. That's good. I think I'm gonna wait this one. Another ring? Just haymaker, haymaker, haymakers. Okay. I guess we're covered from Raker with mental missteps, so I'm gonna go get my ancestral. Almost wish I had countered the top instead. Yeah. Insta win every turn. Okay. Do you have a ring follow up with? I mean, I get they could have had another Tezzeret follow up. There's a lot of things that kill me there. DT. Just getting bullied. This is why you need like a null rod in your deck. Needle. Interesting. Wow. This is a hard spot. What if I go DT Lotus so I can play Bilbo and Needle? Needling Time Vault, I guess. They've played 2 One Rings, 1 Tezzeret, no Rakers. They have the mana to play a Raker or a Ring or a Tezzeret on the next turn. Yeah, but they've already spun. I feel like needling top doesn't make sense. They know the next card down. They only have 1 Karn because Karn is restricted. Okay, I'm gonna make the DT play to get Lotus to get Bilbo in play because I want to be able to flashback Ancestral or DT next turn. I can probably flashback DT and Time Walk, and then maybe we can win somehow. So I'm definitely going to make this DT Lotus play. I just need to figure out what I want to needle. What card is the best needle here? They are F6ing. I could needle top, but feel like Time Vault is the way I lose here. It's so hard. But they're going to spin? Wow. That doesn't make any sense. Right? That gets rid of so many outs. That gets rid of Raker. That gets rid of Tezzeret. I don't think we need to name Sensei's top anymore. Third ring is a problem, but third ring is third ring. I'm naming Time Vault here for sure. If they hadn't spun this top, I think I would have named top. Dismember. God, that's a blowout. For a turn. My Bilbos have been dismembered by Shops players so many times. All right, well, I named the right card, chat. That's a manifold key that would have gone infinite on Time Vault. Jesus. So they spun a wait. They spun a dismember to the top when they had a key on top? I guess they thought I was going to name Time Vault. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So now they have top key actives, though. It's still pretty bad for me. I don't have misstep anymore. We're at least covering Raker, but we're pretty weak to multiple things. We do have Lurrus coming with the ability to get back Lotus and Bilbo. We also get a Surveil here. Lots of possible things. The fact that my opponent just gets to keep spinning and never draw a land is very annoying. Though I guess I don't really want them to draw Saga or Academy anyways. So. This is just like we need a Null Rod, but our deck doesn't want a Null Rod in it because we're winning with Volkey, you know? This is not a problem for our Time Vault key because we at any point can steal Sabotage from our yard or Chain of Vapor or something it back. So they're not at any point though, because if my opponent has untapped key, then we can't. They can't really remove this card though, so they have to win with either Raker double top or overwhelm us with like rings and cards and stuff. It's been a pretty brutal game, though. Okay. So let's go sewers. Let's stock up. Oh boy. I think maybe I do need more needles, maybe. I've only lost to colorless all day. all I've lost to today is Sphere Shops and Raker, and looks like I'm gonna lose to another Raker. So I don't know, DFA. I kind of wish I had like another needle in the board or something. I've been getting my ass kicked. Definitely keeping this. Really? I'll have to. You don't have your games recorded, do you? I didn't have very good hands, and I was on the draw in multiple of my Sphere matchups, so that's possible. You have replays? Maybe we'll watch the replays at some point. I don't know. I got my ass kicked today by Sphere and Raker, so. Ooh, wait. We have a land drop, right? So we have Saga Time Walk into play a Bilbo. Ooh, is that good though? I guess none of these are counter magic, so I guess we could play Saga Flow State and try to find a force or something, but I feel like Time Walk Saga is even better. I feel like I like Time Walk Saga here. Are you in top 8? Missed. Okay. All right. Well, if I can fade a turn here, I've got Bilbo with Time Walk, and surely we win the game, so. I feel like a knit's probably hard, even if you're paying attention, so. Oh, yeah, we have guaranteed lethal, right? With a construct and a time walk, so I guess there could be a third ring. Raker we have covered. Love that for us. I'm really happy they went in on the Raker line. That's the one thing we actually had covered here. I bet they have double top the way they were playing so fast. Do we still have a win through a token blocker? We probably do, right? Because we have a time walk and 2 constructs. Yeah, we should win here. My moto is lagging like crazy. Sapphire. Oh, I guess I don't need to because I have a Lotus off of Lurrus. Nothing matters here. I guess they could have a Dismember on the top of their library. Killing Bilbo. No, they would still take 10 and die, so. Okay, game 3. Is this how you boarded? You didn't board any more removal spells than this, right? Maybe you played like Feed the Swarm or Long Goodbye over Fatal Push because of Revolt, but I feel like you want the 1 mana ones. Maybe you kept a Bilbo over a slower card. I feel like Bilbo is probably better than a Flow State, right? It just demands this Dismember from the opponent. It's got to be close. Okay, Cat. I mean, this looks like a keep to me. On the draw versus Raker, we have Needle, Mox, Force, Misstep. I mean, I don't have a blue source, but I think that's okay here. I think this is like enough counter stuff that I will keep it. Jesus, that's so bad for me. Okay. I will force this, pitching the 3 mana card. That's like such a good card here. Really hoses my entire idea. Yeah. I could theoretically wait on that, but I mean, I may never draw a blue source and never get to play the game. They keep probing post-car restriction. I hate this. I think this probe should have been cut from every single Raker deck. I really strongly dislike probe when you don't have 4 cars. I just think my misstep is too valuable to be used on probe. It has to be used on top. I might just never draw a blue source out of this, huh? I think that's a risk I'm willing to take in this game. Is it a double Raker draw? Oh, Tezzeret into a new top. Yeah, all right. I mean, how are you supposed to beat these draws without Null Rod? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? I guess I just, like, have a force and have a blue mana and have a 1 mana counter. I just, like, don't feel like I have the right answers to... Wow, I'm just actually dead here. I'm actually just double top comboed here. Yeah. I thought I had a pretty protective hand, but I don't know. These matches have been real rough, Matt. They've been real rough. All right. So we lost 3 rounds. We went 3-3. We lost to Raker Sphere Shops, and we beat Blue-Black Lurrus, Doomsday, and Lurrus Deathrite Shaman. Which is actually really interesting because I think that the Frog Wasteland matchups are harder for us than the Sphere, not the Sphere, than the Raker matchups. But that's Magic. You can lose winning matchups and you can win losing matchups. I like the ideas present in this deck. The Gifts was insane all day. The draw spell engines were good. The Thoughtseize was good. The removal spells were okay. The Needle was good. The Lantern was okay. The Sync was okay. I didn't... So I did get to do a really sick chain out of the board. But I didn't miss the chain in game 1. So that means the Sync change is pretty reasonable. The Fluster was pretty good. The one thing I'm thinking after playing these leagues is maybe I need like one more Needle in the sideboard. That could be pretty interesting. Maybe a Needle makes more sense than a second Lantern. I had the second Lantern for like non-Null Rod Bilbo mirrors, Breach matchups, but maybe like a second Needle makes more sense. Maybe instead of a Crypt, a second Needle makes more sense. Then you just have Lantern and 2 Needles. I don't think that like I'm underboarded for shops, but I mean, it's possible that I am. Maybe I need another Consign or another Sabotage. It's really hard to say. I just need to get more reps with the deck and see where we go. It does look like Matt is in the top 8, so, you know, that's another sign that this deck is a nice little adventure. It's possible that we want to be blue-white splashing DT and Yogg-Will, very similar to our Oswald deck, but maybe without Oswald, so that you're like a little less reliant on that card. I don't know what that deck exactly looks like. It probably has like a portable hole and some swords. But I mean, we didn't get the 3 top 8s in a row with Bilbo decks, but this was a pretty good and interesting stream as well. Lots of cool things came up in spots we could have played better and had some more deterministic gifts lines as well. So hope you're enjoying all of the Bilbo exploration. More vintage content on this YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.